It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here, and she is going to help me crown Orlando's first ever Sweetest Old Man competition.
What is this?
Me and Sam are...
Sweet old man.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba.
We're trying to find Orlando's Sweetest Old Man because I believe he called us this morning. Our vanity number, 1-844-TOM, the letter N, Dan. That's 1-844-TOM-N-Dan, is oddly close to the helpline for the Signal Tech Wi-Fi booster. And I present to you the first contestant in Dan and Sam's Sweetest Old Man competition.
Yes, my name is Chuck Casera here. I have just purchased an item from you guys that I need to cancel. It is my fault. I should have read it and paid more attention, but
It is my fault. I should have read it and paid more attention because I'm a goddamn sweet old man.
I
am
like
a
this old
sweet.
man.
Yeah, I do too.
know.
I
So
love this
sweet.
sweet old man.
I like he's taking accountability.
Yeah, something that a lot of people don't have. But this
Yeah.
sweet old man, he's fueled by accountability.
Yeah. I like
read
that.
it and paid more attention, but I needed to boost my internet, but apparently, from what I can see here, this device only does Wi-Fi, not a landline.
It only does Wi-Fi, not a landline. And I'm going to return it and take my sweet old man ass back to bed.
What does he mean it doesn't do
He
a
doesn't
landline?
understand.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
confusing a telephone line and
And
Ethernet
internet? Okay.
with internet and Wi-Fi. Yeah, he's I didn't say smart.
Yeah, well,
I
he did-
said sweet.
well,
Right.
I'm going
There's
for
a big difference.
Yeah, and normally sweet people don't know technology.
Yeah, I mean, tech savvy is different
Right.
than smart.
Yeah.
He goes smart as hell. He's an old man, so
Yeah.
he has no idea about technology.
I mean,
it's like me.
We could call this old man back. Should we call this sweet old man back?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of how I don't want to. You
Because
never.
then you're going to make him feel dumb, and we don't want to do
yeah,
that.
never meet your heroes. Is
Yeah.
what I say.
So is he Orlando's sweetest old
Well,
man?
this is not Orlando. We got to find
don't even
more.
know
of them.
where
This
he's
is our
from.
first contestant. This is
Oh,
going to be
okay.
year long. This is
All
going
right.
to be year long. And then at the end of the year, I'll just say it right now. At Johnny's other side, we will have a sweet old man event. And I'll crown the winner there. I'll be there. I'll have a whole outfit.
What
of
do they
sash.
do?
They just get up on stage and we crown them the Orlando's Sweetest Old Man.
What is it, a competition?
Yeah, it's a competition.
Well, what do they have to do in the competition?
Just call in confused. If you're a sweet old man, or if you know a sweet old man, have them bewildered. Get them properly bewildered, and then have them call into the show.
I feel like they should have
Should
to
it be
do.
confused, sweetest, confused old man, or sweetest?
They should have to do a competition on stage, like make you a bowl of cereal.
Okay,
You know
all
what I'm
right.
saying? Yeah.
Now, see this. Do you want to? Okay, you
Yes,
can be
I
a Tom
do.
and Dan. All right, you're in.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Tom and Dan event, not a Dan and Sam event. All right, Sam, he's in.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna crown Orlando
Yeah.
and the surrounding area sweetest old man. Do you know any sweet old men?
Yeah, I mean,
Sam, you know any sweet old men?
I do not. I only know terrible men.
Most of the men I know are pretty bad. I don't know.
No.
any
Grumpy old
Yeah.
men.
grumpy, but not sweet.
Right.
Do we know a sweet old man? You know who's going to end up being a sweet old man is Izzy.
Yeah.
Our friend Izzy, he's going to be a sweet old man. Me, not going to be a sweet old man. Mean old man. Mean little old man.
you'll be a
You
recluse.
quiet, racist old man.
Yeah,
That's what you'll
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Quiet.
Like
You're
my
like that
pop-up.
now. You're a quiet, racist old man now.
That will, my pop-up. Now, my
Quiet.
wife would say,
Quiet man.
yeah, he was quiet. I don't know if you put him in the category of sweet. He was polite.
This is a sweet old man. I mean, hold on. Let me go back. Let's go to the tape again.
He was not. He was very angry. I remember when every time.
Obama.
Well, yeah, Obama,
Yeah,
for sure.
he
But
hated that. He hated
but
that.
also anytime some sort of solicitor called him,
Oh,
which
yeah.
it would be every phone call
He
he
wouldn't
got,
be
his
sweet?
landline. No, he'd pick up the phone. He'd be like, "Hello," and
God damn it! You're like yelling.
No, but I tell him, I'm like, Pop-Up, don't answer your landline. It's all spam. It's all like scammers.
Well, you don't have to be mean to them either. You know, you've caught me doing that a couple of times.
People
Where-
are suggesting Jeff Howell in the chat, which I would agree, but
Sweet old man?
he's also bitter.
But is he this
Yeah,
sweet?
yeah.
Is he this
No,
sweet?
he-
Listen to this.
no.
Listen.
Pretty sweet.
Listen to this.
Yes, my name is Chuck Casera here. I have just purchased an item from you guys that I need to cancel. It is my fault.
It is my
It is
fault.
my fault. Look at that
We need
sweet
that as
old
a
man.
drop.
God, I love this old
It
man.
is my fault.
It is my fault. Sweet old man. So there's our first contestant. If you have, because we'll move on.
Where's this guy's wife? She
Dead.
needs to
died.
be.
She died.
Oh,
Sweet
man.
Gertie passed away.
He's all on his own.
Every morning when he wakes up, he gets out of bed. He does his morning stretches because he does PT. He was a war veteran.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
looks over and he sees a picture of his wife who used to work for DuPont as a nurse. She was also in the military. And she broke her back to save a lot of American GIs right on the front lines. And she's just a goddamn good person. And he looks at her, and she's got that poof haircut, but not an old picture of her. This is a young black and white photo of her when she had the young poof. And he looks at that, and he looks at her in her uniform, and one little tear starts a little bit in his eye, but he realizes he has to do his stretches, so he does all those. And then he goes out to use his Wi-Fi and get his daily dose of Fox News, but he can't because his Wi-Fi is not boosted. So he calls us, and he explains to us how it was his fault because he didn't read the directions. He's just a damn sweet old man.
I'm gonna be screwed if my wife dies before I do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real rough for me.
I think your boys will take care of you.
Tommy
I feel
will.
confident that Tommy will take care of
Oh,
you.
don't burden Tommy with that.
He looks
I
like he
know.
wants the burden. Have you seen them? The way they interact? He looks like he's
He'll
ready
be
for
over it by
daddy.
the time he's 18.
Tommy has
and
the-
he'll have an old bitch of a wife that won't let him come help me.
Okay, can I say something without you getting
You're like,
mad? Can I say
Your
something?
dad is an old man. He can take care of himself. And then he'll be like, no, I need.
He needs me.
Can I say
My
something?
mom used to always take care of him. He can't do it by himself. He's
Can-
confused.
I don't want you to get mad at me, but Tommy is very a lean boy. He is a skinny man.
yeah. Stick bug, I call him.
And the stereotype, and let's hope he breaks, that's mean. Let's hope he breaks the stereotype, but he is ripe for a big fat wife that bosses him around.
No, I know.
Right.
Why we tell him?
He
We're
is
like,
ripe for it. Do you remember
Yeah.
there used to be a couple here in town that owned a business? I won't say what it was.
It's a popcorn.
but the guy was a skinny mini, and the wife was a big fat, big ginormous, and she would, you piece of ass.
Yo, she
you-
yell at him good.
She'd be like, "You're the worst! I hate your face!" Like yelling, and it's too much.
And then
she
he
was
just
not. She was a mean old lady, and he was a sweet old man. He was a sweet young man. He's a sweet young man.
yeah, that's what.
Tommy is. Oh my God, he's gonna be a sweet old man. He'll be a sweet old man.
It's not.
You got to protect him at all costs.
And I try to keep up with technology. Oh,
Do
dude,
you?
You're not a. Don't worry about it. You're not a sweet old man. You're quiet.
Hold on.
You're a quiet old man.
I have a theory here. So my pop was never like he didn't even know how to use a keyboard.
No, we- yeah.
You know, like I taught him. I brought him my old Gateway computer, which got infested with spiders. And
I thought you
which
were
is
gonna say
funny
they
because
got infested with shush time.
he loved playing spider solitaire.
Well,
The irony.
those were his spiders.
Yeah,
A
they're actual
spider
spiders.
gateway.
He thought there were actual spiders powering the spider solitaire.
in his hot ass garage. But he.
Why didn't you give him 2 fans in a AC unit like yours?
He don't
you
wanna-
let Pop sweat it out?
No, he didn't want
Yeah.
that.
Did he have
liked
an
that.
organized garage or a dirty garage?
He organized.
Okay.
Oh yeah, completely organized. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
American, a
He
good
was
American.
mad that I didn't take care of my stuff. Like
If he saw your garage right now, what would he say?
he'd say, you don't even want to know.
Yeah, I don't. And you know another thing that
you
I knew?
can't say it.
You know another thing I know he would hate? Your wife has really done a great job of making your house look like a show palace, like a show place. And she's done a wood project, and you let her use your table saw, and I know your pop-up would hate the fact that you have now gifted all of your
I do
your
that. She
wood.
needs help still.
She said on
I did a half of that.
on her
she don't know how to do nothing.
Instagram stories, she shows pictures of her doing it like she
Yeah,
is
that's all-
queen DIY.
Well, that's all BS Instagram.
So just like any
Yeah.
other influencer, she's
Yeah.
got a team of people behind the scenes
Yeah.
making her look good.
It's like the wood or the mud men.
the Mud Man. Yeah, it is just like the Mud Man.
There's a
Mud
team.
boys.
I got brought into it. She started it herself, but then I had to help her because
It looks great.
She started a project that was way too much work for one person. It would take her 2 weeks to do this.
She loves
With
the wood
sand-
accents. Loves it.
Anyway, so I had to screw it in. Then we had to find the studs, and we had to figure out how to not screw into the pipes because that's where our master bathroom is, right behind that wall.
Oh, you screwed it into the pipe, didn't you?
So there's all the
Oh my
pipes.
God.
There's all
You're
the
gonna
water
take a
pipes.
shower and your shelves start leaking.
So she was like, I think the pipes are around this big circle area, and
Or
I'm
it
like,
says pipes.
I'm like, well, if we screw a screw into one of the water pipes, it's gonna be we're gonna rip this
thousands,
out. Yeah, we're we're gonna have to call. Like, we're not gonna be able to use the bathroom.
Are you going to call like a sweet old man and be like, well, my wife and I were doing a fancy project.
It's my
It's
fault.
my fault.
No.
I didn't
That's
read.
her fault.
It's her fault.
Because she picked the wall with the pipes behind, and then
Pipe wall.
every screw I'm drilling, and I'm like, oh,
Shaking, hands are shaking.
here
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah, it's like concrete Mike cutting the wires of a,
Yeah.
concrete bomb.
And so anyway, I did half of that, and then
Well, it looks great.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm going to go look at her Instagram, I guess.
It's like modular plant shelves. It's really cool. It's super cool.
all I know is that we spent 2 days doing something that is just for decoration. Like
well, that's her DIY stuff's like your plants. I
Right.
feel like
In
that's
fact-
like her hobby.
In fact, I wasn't going to bring this up early, but my wife said to me, like, without even being prompted, Andrea goes, "Did you see what Crystal did?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "She engineered it so he has to tend his plants inside around her." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "She put plant shelves inside. He has to move inside now." And I was like, "You guys are diabolical."
No, it had nothing to do with that. She wants to put pictures and so like I'm gonna put one plant on there, which she conveniently likes the plants when she's like, I want a plant. Can you make me a plant on this? And then I get happy. I'm like, I will make you a plant.
I'll make you the best goddamn plant you've ever seen. You'll see.
But then she wants some stinky old pothos. I'm like, pothos is a GD weed.
Well, what do you want to put there, Plant Daddy?
Something more fancy.
You wanna
some
put that,
ivy, something.
Tom's obsessed with becoming fancy now.
Yeah, he is.
Well, I just want, if another
We should rename this show
person-
Becoming Fancy with Tom and Dan.
that a
That's
per-
a
I want to
good
hear
name.
Tom sing "Fancy" by Reba McEntire.
That's
I've
a
been
good
trashy.
song.
Sam, I've been trashy
Sam, that's
for
a-
so long.
I know.
Oh,
So why are you trying to change now?
Because
You are the Reba McEntire of podcasting.
I don't want to be trashy.
Wow.
Then
That's unfortunate,
I want to be
'cause,
fancy. And I know. It,
Well, you're gonna have to change something. Like I would say, in order to be fancy, one of the first things you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to fully. And I'm not saying clean. You're gonna tackle that garage.
You got to purge.
You got to, dude. You got to get rid of some stuff.
I mean, the French witch alone.
Yeah, you can't say
That's trashy.
You can't say I want to be fancy and then have a paper mache woman living in your garage. It's just not a.
Well,
It's not a possibility. Do you think anybody fancy has a paper mache
No.
doll in their garage?
No, but
Crazy.
I can't get rid of that because Crystal has some sort of weird hoarder
What if you
emotional
got
bond
rid of it?
with
What if it was like that? You remember the old Sam? You'll know this. Remember the old scary story of the woman that had the ribbon tied around her
Yes.
neck, and then I think the male lover, was always like, well, what's the ribbon on your neck? What's the ribbon on? And it goes through the story where they go and they do things, and he's like once again mentioning, let me take this ribbon off your neck, and she's like, no, leave it, and then I think they finally go to lay down to have coitus, and they lay in the bed, and and he's like, let me take this ribbon off, and I'm bastardizing the fable. But as he unties the ribbon, her head falls off and she dies.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there is some sort of supernatural power behind that witch, because it seems to take up an amazing amount of space for something that never gets used. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it.
We bring it out for Halloween every year. That's the only time she makes an appearance is Halloween. And then that's it. Then goes back in the garage.
I'm obsessed with it, man.
To be honest, and there's a lot of garbage in there that I need to get rid of, which is fine. I'm too lazy to.
If you're
I
lazy,
cleaned
you
out
can't
some-
be fancy, buddy. I don't
And
think
you're not lazy, but you just
You're
dig
not.
too many holes. You're doing all these other projects when the main one you should do is purge that garage.
I know,
Then work
man.
on the other stuff.
I know. I just get distracted. I mean, you could imagine at my house, I just bounce from one thing to the other. I just look at something. I'm like, oh, I need to do this now.
like Tigger.
It's real bad. It's ADD crazy, and then especially the marijuana doesn't help.
Yeah. I know.
And when I get on that, then it
it's
erases
fun.
my
But
short-term
it's
memory.
fun.
So then I'm doing a bunch of projects, but I'm leaving my hammers everywhere, and I can't
Oh, I
find
know.
them. Yeah.
Oh, the old lost hammer.
Yeah, I'm like,
saw
what?
that many times
Yeah.
at
I'm like,
AT&T.
where did I put that? Like, I just put it down, and I'm like, why did I forget 2 second marijuana?
You put it on top of a closet door,
Yeah,
and I go,
Oh my
what?
God, it's gonna fall in
I
your
know.
head. It's like a what do you call
Mr.
it?
Magoo crazy.
Home Alone trap.
Oh man, I almost took one of those big ass square heavy shelves that she was making in that thing.
Those are cool.
On the back of the head, like she put it into because how she engineered those shelves is like you slide the square shelf in the slats, and it just stays there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And she had one slid in, and then I was down on the floor, like getting some screws, and then she was drilling in
Because you
one
keep
of
your
the slats.
screws on the floor.
Well, they fell everywhere.
I know.
And
I remember
You're
all
stepping
the...
on them, and of course you've got work boots on.
And then that, no, it's a
Yow, yow, yow.
Stomp, clomp him.
and that shelf was a millimeter from falling off, and then just El Kabong me in the back of the head. It would have
That's how
knocked
you
me out.
die.
Yeah.
Hit that soft spot in the back of your head, you bleed out.
It would have knocked me out for sure, and I mean, I would have never been the same.
Yeah, but would you have been fancy? That's what you have to ask yourself. I think you'd have been fancy. Do you have any emails, Sam?
Oh, I got tons
Yeah,
now.
let's fire up a fancy email.
All right. How and where could you get a goon? Ciao, Tom, Dan, Sam, and crew. I won a friendly competition of fantasy football and currently haven't been paid in the last 8 months. I've sent a request payment 3 times, and I'll just do the Christian thing and forgive the debt at the end of the month, only a few Benjamins. But I was just wondering how and where Tom and Dan Business hire a goon. I'm assuming you can't call Mo and or go to the Jungle MMA and Fitness. Forget about it. P.S. Are there any BDM fantasy football leagues?
Hold on, you can't just forgive. You got to collect that money. Mm-hmm. You know,
Hold on a second. That's my
But
line.
how?
I mean, you keep hounding that person until they give you the money. I mean, a bet is a bet. You can't.
Yeah, but at some
also,
point,
fantasy
doesn't
football,
it become like a waste of your time? You have to just say, well, we're moving on. Because if the person isn't going to pay you, you can't just go like beat them up. I think that's what he's referencing.
No, you start posting on his Facebook page for his family and friends to see. You're like, this person stole.
And let everybody else in the league know, too, so
Yeah,
that they don't
because
play with them again.
Some people hate that or don't hate that. Some people are just like, yeah, whatever. It's fake. It's the internet. Internet's not real.
Yeah, but if
Keep talking.
If everybody in the league put in, $50 or $20, and then you had like, first, second, third place winner, here's what you get, and then the treasurer, it just keeps the money he stole from everybody. You
Right.
have to get
Yeah,
that money
you did
back.
steal.
Thief.
You did
Yeah,
steal.
yeah, like that. You can't just let the person steal from you. Yeah, you have to shame them somehow. Hiring a goon is hard. That doesn't exist. Like
Yeah, it's hard to get goons.
I used to make the jokes about Mr.
A quality
Red Shoes.
goon, I'll say. A quality goon.
Yeah. Although I did hear one true goon story.
Goon story?
And the problem is from who it came from. I question it a little bit, but the story I heard, and this is a gambling story, is that a person racked up a bunch of gambling debt. And this was back in the day before like offshore accounts existed. It was
Sure.
just like local bookies or whatever. And the reason why I kind of don't believe this is because the more I've learned about gambling, the more I've learned that like regular bookies, they don't usually go after you. It's not the mob. Like that's old wives' tales or like movies where that for sure happened back in the day. It just currently in the past 20 years, I don't think it happens.
Yeah.
Like if a bookie doesn't get paid, first he's not going to let you rack up tens of thousands of dollars.
They won't go that far.
No,
right.
you pay a bookie each week, and he'll set a limit for you, and say like you get a $2,500 limit, right? And you got to settle with them every week. And this is how I've done it, and I know that the process works. And if you don't pay them, they'll try to keep hounding you to pay them, but it'll only be like $2,000, and then at a certain point, it's not worth the bookie's time. They'll just cut off your account,
Yeah.
and you can never
You're
gamble
just
with them again.
blacklisted at that point.
Yeah, and so they're not going to, now if you rack up $100,000 in debt, then they may send goons after you. Anyway, the true story I heard about, or the story I heard about a goon, is this guy racked up a bunch of gambling debt. Apparently enough for him to get a goon sent. Mm-hmm. And the goon that they sent just followed him. And just was out in like front of his work and in front of his
Just
like,
a
just
gentle,
stalking him.
like a
Yeah.
gentle gooning.
yeah. Like he didn't
Intimidation factor.
It wasn't a threat or what. The goon just followed
You're
him.
being watched, buddy.
And then the person told me that the goon started going with the person to events and things, and it was weird.
What if you befriended the goon? That's what I would try to do. I would try to
Now he's
befriend.
paid to do a job, and his job is to collect.
I understand that, but sometimes I feel like my personality is worth more than money.
You can sweet talk a goon.
And I think I could sweet talk the goon and get the goon on my side, no matter the money.
But the thing is, the goon knows that if he goes against his boss, that they'll send a goon for him. So
I didn't think about that. I didn't
so
think about that.
He's like, and so then apparently the person that was like being like accompanied to all these events by the goon, the guy died in a car accident.
Oh my God.
And
Did they ever think like, oh,
yeah,
Right.
yes, that, in the urban
the
legend
old,
that I heard,
brake lines are cut.
in the urban legend that I heard. Now,
That was no accident.
what doesn't make any sense is there's no one's gonna murder someone to try to get paid, because you're definitely not gonna get paid after you murder them. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I always thought that
So-
you were on a plane one time. Like, we got to get it. We got to take a break here in a second. But you were on a plane one time, and the plane caught on fire.
After, not at one hour.
Right. But I always thought
Oof.
that particular plane, the reason, because I'd never heard of that before, where just like a plane just like caught on fire and like burned to the ground. And I always kind of thought maybe that had something to do with that person not being well liked.
Well, it actually emergency landed in a field, and then the hot engine
Caught the field on fire.
grass
Ah,
on
that makes
fire,
sense.
and then it burned the plane down. But
I have a big imagination.
the engine stopped working, and it caused them to emergency land. And it was the plane we just flew in like 2 months earlier to the Bahamas. So
Yeah.
it was sketchy. I was like, oh, that could have been us in the ocean.
Oh,
and
good.
and it's not a smooth landing when you
No.
land in the ocean. You're floating around forever. Anyway, it'd have been a rough.
That'd be a rough.
I don't even make
I
it
would
through
choose
that.
the goon. I would
Yeah,
choose the
yeah,
goon.
yeah. I think you flip over. It's not good. Anyway, all right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Awesome. All right, what's up? Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
We're
Come
live on
on
Twitch
in.
though, just to let you know. 'cause-
That's right.
yeah, we're still on.
how's it going?
Nice to meet you.
Very good to see you. Make yourself at home. I'm just saving this file real fast.
Go pee.
Is that Tuesday 1?
Yes.
So much smaller in person.
Everybody
That's
says
everything,
that.
because
The
it's some
camera
weird
adds
optical
20 feet.
illusion.
Yeah. Hi.
And
It's
20
very good to
pounds.
see you. Thanks so
Very
much
nice
for
to
all
meet
that you
you.
do, and nice to meet you too. Finally.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Sure.
Did you find it everything okay?
Yeah, I was across the street because I saw the Trump truck over there.
All
Oh,
right.
I was
yeah.
like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, the
Isn't it?
the GPS will take you around the back. So I always tell people,
It's
Yeah, that's what
unfortunate that
I
it does
saw.
that. It's also unfortunate that they don't give us a spot. Like, it seems like we should have at least one spot that kind of goes with this that's ours, because we could keep it free and then just use it for guests would be awesome. You know, like we'd always have a set spot for people.
can you go to Google Maps and then change the way they suggest
That's a
people?
really good question. You might.
Like,
If
because
you're a business, you might be able to do that. Yeah.
the problem, we give people this address, but because this is a there's a residence above us and behind us, like the address goes to the residence driveway, which is behind the property. So anytime we give people the address, they want to go to the back alley and park in the people's driveway that we don't, we got to park on the street. So I always have to tell people, like, you have to park on the street, don't go around the back. But I wonder if we could specify. It probably won't do it because this is Unit A and there's B and C. I don't know. It ain't gonna work.
What?
11 is our weird job, right?
Yes.
This is a weird job.
Oh, Melissa's our weird job. Oh,
I was just waiting to see if anyone.
Sam and I looked at Sam, Sam looked at me, I looked at Sam, Sam looked at me, and we're looking at each other. And I'm
I
like-
forgot.
And then I wasn't going to make you do that. I was like, I'll do it.
God
it's
damn
her.
it.
Well, I was waiting to see if there was a follow-up.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I gave you a benefit of the
that
doubt.
makes more sense.
There she is, everybody.
I'm like, who's the weird job? I'm too busy.
you are.
All right.
You need to chill out.
And
You know
then
what?
I,
know what
I'm
you
not paying
need?
attention to the details.
You know what you need?
I
You
knew
need
Melissa was coming in, but then I didn't know she was coming in to do a weird job. I thought she was coming in to watch and hang out for the day.
She's also going to provide us with content.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
We always
Good.
have her working. Poor Melissa.
I
We're like, get
know.
to work. Those are your headphones. That's your microphone. And you just want to get about an inch off of it like I am. And we'll get you sounding good. That's hilarious, dude. Even the chat room said, wow.
Oh, my God. Spicy Tuesday.
I like that Melissa came here on a day when she's creating her own clips. You know what I mean? Like, just you being here
I'm not going to watch myself.
is
Do you need it turned up?
Yeah, do you
need it down.
need more?
Oh,
Oh, turn down. Yes. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, closest one to you.
Yep. It's kind of quick too. It's like if you give it like a millimeter, it'll give you like 100 dB, which is weird. But
Okay, this one.
check, check. Hey. I'm talking loud just so you can get it. Is that better?
Yeah.
Hello. And then I'll pump you up a little bit. One of the best shirts we ever made is that one. The girl,
yeah.
I love this one. It fits the best.
Our girls' gear between that one and the pink one and I'll give him love that Butler engineered, the one with the flowers.
Oh, yeah, I ordered a size too big, and then
That's
by
a
then it was
great.
too late.
It's a great shirt. We never got that one.
All right.
I'll straighten this up here. There we go. All right. Are we starting Wednesday now? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. And thanks again for coming in.
Oh, yeah, finally. I mean, I feel like it's been 2 years
I know.
since I've been
I think so.
creating stuff.
I think
I
so.
know.
Yeah, maybe
We'll
a
talk
little
about
under.
that.
Yeah. You start, buddy.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
Let's do a weird job.
All right, buddy. Let me get the button. In 3, 2, 1, job it. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. Streamline Mortgage Solution. Talk to Brian Zymel and his team about anything mortgage related if you want to refi, if you need to buy a house, or talk to them about reverse mortgages. Apparently they changed. We talked to Leo about that, the COO of Streamline.
Yep.
And just speak to them about it because it could be an advantage for you to get a reverse mortgage and have your house pay you instead of paying, and especially why house values are so high right now. Just give them a call and they'll explain it to you. And like I said, they changed in the past couple of years, so it's different than the reverse mortgages
baby.
that we used to know.
I've changed.
So Melissa Robinson's here. How you doing, Melissa?
Good. How are you guys doing?
So Melissa has been doing videos for us for
Videos of us, not like it sounds.
Yeah,
it
we-
sounds
Yeah,
like
a while.
For you.
yeah, it sounds like
No, no, no.
OnlyFans. Like he's like she's been doing private videos for us.
Well, I say for us because they're great promotional
for
videos.
us by us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, let's go back to how this started because first, how long has it been now?
Well, I've probably been making them since COVID, so a couple years.
So since around 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause I had nothing else to do, so.
Which is crazy. It's been 2 years. This is the first time we've met you in person.
I know.
Like we've
Yeah.
had so many interactions back and forth, and it, like,
Can I say something weird? You look exactly like I thought you would
I was
look.
gonna say, do you even know what I look like? Because
I purposely
I
didn't
didn't.
look. I thought
I
about
didn't either.
Googling it. I thought about like getting
there's
on
a lot
like,
of me's out there.
something and like trying to look you up, but I didn't. And you look exactly like I thought you looked, and it makes me feel like maybe my barometer isn't as broken as I've thought it has been.
She's giving me Parker Posey vibes.
Okay, I could totally
Right?
see that. Yeah.
I didn't even know who you were when I hugged you.
That's good.
Oh, my
I thought you were the cleaning lady.
You just hug random women.
Well, we're looking for a new video.
I
editor,
like
folks.
hugging.
Regular Sleepy Joe over here.
I want to massage.
Yeah, you were already sniffing her hair and everything.
So now, back when COVID started, you said like you started creating these videos, and I first saw them on the BDM page. And basically you took them from Twitch, and you are a video editor in your regular job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you live in the Keys, correct?
Yeah, Key West.
So how
That's the good one.
It
If
is.
you
It's
can-
the fun one.
Yeah, if you can live there. I mean, most people I know have never ever lived like in Key West. It's usually they say Key West meaning the Keys as a whole.
Yeah. But then the stinky Almirada, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, like, Key West is the quintessential Keys that everybody knows, like the party town where all the things happen, where all the bars are.
Body painting and the party and the parrots and the, the street performers and drinking and eating bar. And,
Yeah. There's a lot of islands that are before that. But anyway, so how'd you end up in Key West?
I used to visit all the time, and I really wanted to move there. So I went down there on vacation, and I saw a guy with a camera at a festival, and I kind of talked my way into a job.
Really?
Basically, yeah. I was working remotely from Orlando for a few months, and then he said, well, do you want to move down here? I can afford to pay you. And he had houses to rent, so he kind of supplemented the housing, and yeah, it kind of evolved
What
from there.
What year was that?
15.
Okay. So I mean, still, the Key West is super expensive to live in.
It's bad.
Like, I remember, I mean, when we talk about this, when Deborah comes in with Fair Villa, but like when the recession was happening, the housing recession, like that was the only time I could remember where I looked at house prices in the Keys, and they were like, well, maybe if you sold everything and then went in with a couple people, you could
get
buy,
something.
you get something.
Sure.
But now it seems like every house it's got to be damn near $1 million, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even shacks are
Yeah,
almost $1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you had you been there before, or was it like I'm there, I'm hanging out, I'm vacationing, and man, I'm really smitten with this place. And like, how quickly was like your attraction towards the area, would you say?
A few years. I mean, I was going every year. My friend's mom had a timeshare, so we would go to Isla Mirada every year and go to Key West for the day. And yeah, after a few years of living here, again, after I came back from living other places, I thought, no, I want to be closer to the ocean again. So.
And it's a different type of ocean. It's like here it feels very like the beach. There it feels very much like
Caribbean.
Like the Caribbean, exactly.
Yeah. It's the white Bahamas. I've said that. I've made that joke for years. Like it is the Caribbean island. It no different from the Bahamas or any island in the Caribbean. It's just we got bridges from Miami to it, and that's it.
What are some of the more difficult? Okay, so you're living in Key West. What are the best parts of it? And what are some of the parts of it that you're like, if you're living in the city or living like we do in Orlando, you would miss out on what?
Well, the best part is definitely the boating and, being in the water basically all the time.
Yeah, it's
And,
island life.
Yeah, small town. We bike everywhere. We never drive our cars. We drive them just because we need to drive them.
Right.
Like, you can walk or bike everywhere. But you have, we don't have anywhere to buy a TV. Like, you have to order everything.
Yeah,
online.
And everything's more expensive. They got to ship it
yeah.
down. It's like living on an island, but you do have roads to Miami.
Are there
It's 4
island
hours.
boys there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But they're all rich
do they
and
keep,
gay.
Do they keep
Rich
it
and
like
gay.
an island boys?
So now it is advantageous to have some sort of, and I bet this is why the Keys will never go down in value and continue to go up, because with the internet now you could live in the Keys and work remotely. So if your job is remote, you could live in paradise, which wasn't an option before.
Do you see a lot of that with people that
Oh,
are?
yeah. That's most of our friends. Work
It-
remotely.
Because there's nothing else to do. There's no jobs down there. I mean, it's, there's Fair Villa, some other hotels and hospitality
I was gonna say,
industry.
like service industry, yeah.
Yeah, but good luck buying or living there if you work in the service industry. So you gotta,
Right.
a lot of times there's like subsidized housing and stuff. They had to do it because there's no place for people to live that worked in these hotels and like service industry jobs.
Well, you're seeing like Zoom towns now too, where you'll take an area of like an area that's popular. It may not be able to sustain actual residents that live there, but it can sustain people that work remotely and rent, which is weird. But they're like popping up, and it's not good. It's weird how that's going to shake out.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing, well, I guess it'll have everything to do with what happens with housing.
Yeah. So, Melissa, when you started editing our Twitch videos and putting together little clips and jokes, and you said you're doing it out of boredom, but how long have you been listening to the show?
Pretty much since I moved down there, so about 7 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like a newer listener.
And what made you decide to even start? And besides from boredom, did you think, hey, this is going to catch on? Or was there any other motivation behind it?
Oh, no, I never expected this to become something paid.
Yeah, I know.
By any means.
And so when we started seeing the videos, like we knew immediately, like Melissa
She's got the goods.
She got the goods. And not only are you good at video editing, you understand the joke that we're trying to
You have
put
good
out
timing.
there.
You have excellent timing.
Yeah. And that's hard.
Even things like that we wouldn't even think to put together.
Yeah.
Melissa
Yeah.
will put together. And we're like, this
100%.
is genius.
Yeah. And
I like that. I like not having to think about things.
it also goes to show you, and this is a good lesson for everybody. It's like sometimes, you start doing something to get people's attention, even though if it's just you wanted to do it for fun or like, hey, I want to put this together because other people appreciate it and think it's funny. And sometimes you just got to do that stuff and it will pay off, or you'll get people's attention. People that you're creating it for,
You never know.
will appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then because we were like, man, Melissa hits it out of the park with every single, like the first couple, I was like, that's luck. But once you started being consistent about it, I was like,
true.
she
I'm
is
like, oh my
naturally
God.
talented.
They're all consistently good. Did you go to school to be a video editor?
I mean, sort of. I went to UM for film production.
Nice.
And,
Did you know
there was-
EJ? There's
No.
Ennis Crafted. He's a big football.
We went the same time, pretty much. but
Really?
No,
Oh
I
my
didn't.
God.
I didn't know.
What software do you use?
Final Cut.
Yeah,
Okay.
she uses what we
Yeah,
have,
it's-
which actually makes it easier, I think.
Now, when I see one of these videos, in my terms of time spent, I'm like, well, this obviously took 18 to 38 hours to do because because I don't know technology. Obviously,
Yeah.
And
You're like the sweet old man we had on Tuesday's show, except you're not
It's my
sweet.
fault.
Yeah.
And it seems like doing this, if I tried, it would take an insane amount of time.
Well, yeah, if you did.
Yeah,
you have no
I've-
experience.
You
No,
have to
I
learn how
know.
to turn the computer on.
I know, but that's why I appreciate it
Yeah,
so
you
much.
can't even use a trackpad. It has to be mouse only.
How long does it usually take to create one of these videos?
Oh, it depends. I mean, all of the 90s, flashy, crazy hot tub mini fridge stuff, that takes longer. So there's
Yeah.
a million different clips and transitions.
Yeah, some of them, she's got like 105 different GIFs like flying through the air. I'm like, oh my God, and just rendering it takes forever.
Well, Final Cut's pretty quick as far as, rendering and stuff. I usually just throw a bunch of stuff together and see what it looks like once I play it. And then kind of go from there.
I like that.
I bet a lot of this is being organized. Like Daniel tells me all the time, like if all your work parts are in the correct files, and then it's easier to do a project.
Yeah,
because,
Sam and I do that daily. That's basically our job, is just organizing audio files.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's just keeping them all in the folders that go, like Sam. I have folders that go to Sam. Sam has folders that go to KC. And then KC has folders that go to the radio station. Really, that's it. We're just professional organizers that talk about farts.
So I feel like most of my problem, and this would be my problem being a video editor, is I'm very unorganized, and then all like my computer stuff is on my desktop. I save it all to my desktop, and then when that
that was my design. A lot of people ask me, why do you have him saving to the desktop? Because if we don't, he can't find what he saved, because it'll go to like downloads, or it'll go to documents, or it'll go to like wherever it goes.
I need it to be on the front of the TV
Exactly.
so I can see it all.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't know this. Once your desktop fills up, it just auto saves it to the top right, and then it just stacks on each other over and over.
And then you get stacks of icons that go until eternity.
Yeah. It's like when you win solitaire.
You are turning into Papa.
Yeah, and then the cards, they just like,
That's what it
oh
looks
my
like.
God.
So my whole front computer.
It's blowing my sweet old man mind.
So then half of my day is spent trying to find
Well,
where the
sometimes,
hell I
and
put
I
stuff.
hear him, Melissa, I hear him sometimes. Like, it's just like being a parent, okay? I don't know if you have kids. I don't think you do. But when you're a parent, what's the worst thing that you can hear if you're a parent in the house?
Silence.
Silence. See, you'd make a great mom. Silence. And when I hear silence, I know he's in there looking at his desktop and he can't find that permit that he needs both of us to sign off on to send back to the extreme rental place so we can rent the inflatable shark or whatever we're renting. And he's like, he'll sit there and he'll quiet, and he doesn't want to bother me. He doesn't want to say anything to me. Quiet. And then I'll hear, oh, hey, dude. You come in here a second. I think I'll save something. I don't know. And then he'll push back, and I come in front of him, and I find it, and it's all stacked up. Right?
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's pretty
and I feel I'm mad every time I have to ask you because I'm like, I could do this. I'm independent. I'm
Yeah,
my
but then you
own
waste
man.
so
I'm
much time
Beyonce.
just staring at the monitor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's
I'm an independent woman.
So Melissa, you work totally for yourself,
Put a
and
ring on it.
like subcontracted out for a company,
yeah.
or is it like a full-time gig?
Well, it was full time for quite a while, but I was still a contract employee.
Gotcha.
And now it's kind of part time, but there's other things possibly opening up for me part time.
Cool.
So, yeah, just a bunch of contract work right now.
So when you make your own schedule, and I guess this is kind of for everybody out there that works for themselves or works at home.
We
and
kind of do that, but we took a great thing in having
Oh, yeah,
freedom,
yeah.
and we're like, how can we 9 to 5 this and hate it? How can we make this a 9 to 5 and then hate it?
Yeah, that was my plan. I was like, you shouldn't enjoy your job.
Yeah, we're like, what
you
are
have
you
to
doing?
hate it.
We start at 9, we end at 5, and we drink after. We're like, I hate that.
Yeah. Well, that's what produces. I mean, that's what a job needs to be.
Exactly. It's hardest for me. That was a veto. It's
I
hardest.
saw her
eyes.
mentally look at
Her
you and
eyes.
like,
Did
oh,
you see her
that's
eyes
check,
light up?
veto.
She's like, veto? I'm like,
Yeah.
confirmed
Yeah.
veto. Confirmed.
So when you make your own schedule, what is that like? Like, do you prefer? I've always wondered, like, when people.
Do you prefer ladies?
Some. It's like I imagine some people work better at night, and then they just start working at night, right?
A lot of people are night owls. Are
Like-
you a night editor? Or?
No. It's basically 9 to 5.
Okay.
I mean, my boyfriend lives with me and he works from home too. So he works downstairs in one corner and I work upstairs in another corner. And we go for a run at the same time every day.
That's perfect.
We take naps at the same time.
That's
every day.
awesome.
That's
actually,
a good
that
part of
sounds
it.
lovely.
Yeah,
Around
yeah.
5, crack a White Claw. And that's,
No kids? This sounds glorious.
Yeah. This is why that if your job can be remote, it will be, because it seems like people prefer it because think about
Self-starters do. If you are a person where you need the rigidity, if you need the structure, if you need a boss, because there are people that need that. You know, like my wife doesn't. You don't seem to need that. Sam doesn't seem to need that. You know, there's an element of me where I do sort of need that. I feel like. I could be wrong in that, but like I think if you're a self-starter,
Yeah, but you would make it for yourself if you were.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
If it was just like, oh, work from home.
but this wouldn't work for everybody is my point.
It
Because I
wouldn't,
know
but-
people, and I've had interns, and like there's one intern I'm thinking of in specific, that if that guy doesn't have a boss, he's just not going to get anything
Well,
done.
if you're lazy and unmotivated, then yeah. But that's who you're going to be that at work.
That's true.
You know, you're just going to show up at work because they're forcing you to show up at a time. So and then you're going to be lazy and unmotivated at work. But if you're working at home, like I saw these memes about like, you know, the clock should start when you leave your house. Like the commute shouldn't be free.
Right.
And it's like this sentiment now that society is having, and I'm just basing it off a meme, but
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of people like it. But that's always how you never got paid to drive to work. The commute wasn't part of you know,
No.
you got paid when you showed up.
Yes.
But that could be an old school mentality, which
Right.
it doesn't make sense. Like you should, like if your commute is half an hour, that's an hour of your day that is unpaid that you're driving to work.
It's probably the most dangerous part of your job too, right?
And so, and like, so you
And
factor.
that gas costs money.
Yeah, and you factor all this stuff in, and you're like, well, how much of my day is preparing to go to a job, like getting dressed or driving to work, and you start adding
Paying
up that
tolls if you have to. Yeah.
you add it all up, and then you're like, that's a lot of my life that I'm just dedicating for free to this job
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, if you could do it at home, then all of a sudden you can take a nap and drink White Claw exactly at 5.
But
Like,
then you have like people like Bashley79 in our Twitch chat room who says, I struggle working from home. I would much rather do anything else.
well,
Yeah,
you-
there
you-
are those people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be hard.
Well, why are you struggling?
Some people hate working from home.
I hated it when we had the studio, and I liked it at first, but it got to a point where I didn't like having the studio in my home. It made it too easy to go down there and work or just sit in the space. So then you don't change. Like, I almost do it now anyway.
A lot of people, like, they dedicate some room of their house, like, this is your work area, and then when you leave that, psychologically, you think, you're like,
that's
okay.
what your wife does, right? Like, she has an office area, and then the rest of the house is none of that.
And then she just created work hours for herself, and
That's good.
And then that's the structure you need, but it's way better than go waste your damn time and some building if you don't need to be there,
Right.
you know, just
True.
because, and I think everybody's
going
to realize
going to the
that.
bathroom at other buildings, though. I'm a weirdo like that.
No one likes that.
I like it.
You like using your own bathroom.
No, I like seeing. I get bored of my old bathroom. I like seeing a new bathroom. Like, see how echoey this thing is. It's a big bathroom. It smells good in here. It smells bad in here.
So, Melissa, has the passion left you for
God.
doing our videos?
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you started...
Is it a job now? Is
yeah,
that what
yeah. So this is what happens. It's like you start something because it's fun. And it's,
Like this podcast.
Like,
We started this as an escape from our day jobs, which we hated. Now this has become the day jobs. Right?
I'll equate it to my plants. Like, let's say if I started selling my plants online, right?
I've told you to do this.
Then, well, no, this is why I can't. Because if I start selling some plants online and then I'm like, well, they're sold, like, I'll be like, well, I have to make 100 of these. You know what I'm saying?
You get
Like
Tommy and Max out there.
And then every day I'll be putting in the soil, propagating fiddly figs, and then attending to like where I just sucked the joy out of it, and then turned it into a
But
factory.
when you have all that money and you can buy your one wheel XR.
but it was never about the money. It was about the joy of.
What do you mean it's not about the money? It's always been about the money.
Well, this is supposed to be about the hobby, not about the money. That's why I turned my hobby into about the money, and now I'm like, oh God, these plants! I have to tend to my plants 6 hours a day, and then I start hating the plants, and then I'm like, I gotta get away from these plants.
You already ate the plants. You told me I shouldn't share that. You told me that in confidence.
So
you told me he hates his plants.
So has that happened where you're just watching me bumble around saying the same stupid...
Let's do another goddamn veto video. There, now crap it right out. There it is. Lick it up, you moron.
People love the veto. Too,
I do love the
It's funny
veto.
to see what people actually like.
The
and
vetoes.
what people don't.
Here's why we like the vetoes, because it's as close as we can get to the R word. It's like flying close to the sun, right? He's like, oh, I feel the heat. And you're like,
well, there was an R Team video a couple years ago. I don't think that would even fly.
Let's shelve that one. Let's shelve that one.
Yeah. I
Keep,
see
keep that one in the Too Hot for TV file when we do the VHSs later this year. Tom and Dan, Too Hot for TV.
Yeah, I like our BDMs. They like making fun of me. I don't know
do.
if you noticed that,
Well,
Melissa.
that's what I.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what I do.
I think that some
people
of
like
them,
it.
but they look at me and they're like, well, he's been made fun of his entire life. We can ease up on him.
Oh.
But they know I'll be dead soon.
Yeah. Well, it's because they know that I think I'm better than them. And then they...
It's the confidence factor.
Yeah.
They're like,
They're
well,
like,
look at
this
him
guy-
vetoing, and I'm better than this guy.
Yeah. So then they're like making fun of me, and then they try to get me good. But just know that even while you're doing that, I am crazy enough to think I'm better than you.
Okay. I support that.
But it's insane.
Have you-
Because you're like, look how stupid you are. You're obviously not better.
Have
than
you
me.
ever self-edited? Have you ever put something in a video and you're like, because there's been a few things that I've caught, because you're a fast editor, where I've caught like some accidental boobage in a video.
Oh yeah, when you were talking about.
I didn't want you to
TikTok,
cut that, by the way. I love the fact that you put that in there, because that's the type of natural hang that I like in a 1970s boob clip. I like a big hangable boob.
The Porky's boob.
Yeah, Porky's boobs. They're great boobs in Porky's. If you haven't seen that movie, go back and look. That's the way boobs should look, I think, personally. That's my style.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But, like, have you ever put anything in there that you had to pull back?
Well, yeah. If social media tells me I have to pull it out.
Oh, I like
I
the
mean-
fact that you leave it up to them and you don't self-edit.
Melissa, can you do documentaries? Because I have an idea that I've been kicking around.
Follow-up documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about calling Kirk, but I was like, that's the whole thing.
God,
Oh,
Kirk.
it's not gonna
You
look
know, he
like
sold
that.
his friend, Kirk, the guy that made our documentary, he bought a sandwich franchise.
Oh yeah, I know. You sold it?
Yeah, he sold.
Oh.
I think he sold it. For a minute, he was like,
Well,
at the
he
beginning of the pandemic, he
He
was
bought
like,
it right in COVID.
I
yeah,
know.
right in
It
COVID.
was
He's like,
unfortunate.
it's a great idea. Oh God, only delivery only. Oh man, and he's like, just swinging by to check the slivers of tomatoes they cut. Too many tomatoes.
Yeah, I remember talking to him right in COVID. He's like, I'm going to try to get that. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, this is a
Now,
bad
guys, I'm starting to blippy. And we're like, oh, no.
And it was in California,
Yeah.
too. It was like,
Oh, we're like, oh, God.
It was in Texas or Florida. You'd never stop. But
Yeah.
California, they'll get you.
It's
What's his name? The governor over there.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom.
Oh, Newsom will get
yeah,
you.
Newsom will get you.
So how are you with documentaries?
I don't know. Haven't tried.
All right.
But-
Well, we could try
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I got
What
an
do you-
idea.
What's your idea?
Okay.
He's doing a
They're
documentary.
gonna clown me.
He's doing a documentary about a guy who started a blimpie at the beginning.
Okay. I know that Sam and Daniel are gonna laugh when I say it.
Are you
but
being serious though?
Huh?
Because if it is something that means something to you, I would hope that you would.
It doesn't mean anything.
Okay, well, that's it. I was gonna say if it means something to you.
No, it's hard for anything to mean anything to me.
Well, there's that's the trauma talking, right? That's the trauma.
Because it could be I'll take it or leave it. I like. It seems like
Is that what the documentary is called? Take it or leave it.
I want to do a documentary about Drunky the Bear. Okay, follow me here.
Oh my God, this is egotistical, man. This guy. Good
No,
Lord.
it seems egotistical, but it's not.
But wait until the onion unfolds. There's so many layers of this character.
Because the story, I feel like, and this is just for social media, like there's no way to distribute these things anymore. It would just be, and it would be.
So this will be like Vice presents.
Well, no, it would be like a
A YouTube documentary.
like a 30-minute episodic
Oh,
documentary.
now she's gonna do episodes.
Like,
It's
kinda
a
like-
series, a docu-series.
A docu-series, Drunky the Bear, Behind the Suit.
It's kind of gonna be like Man in the Arena. I don't know. And I wanted to call it that,
but you don't know what an arena is.
but it's gonna be called Bear in the Arena.
Okay, Bear in the
Right,
Arena.
yeah. And it's just a documentary about the life of Drunky the Bear from the inception to the end.
Wait a minute, that's what the original video was called, The Life and Times of Drunky the
Wait,
Bear.
it can't be that because
You
that's
gotta
porno.
move on. For God's sake, man, you gotta move on.
No, but I'm no.
He can't. This guy, he's
I want to move
I
on,
mean,
but
every morning
the
when
story
you-
hasn't been told. Like,
It's like every morning when he wakes up, he thinks it's 1996 Shane's World. Like you wake up, you're like, oh my God.
No, because the story of
man.
how this happened, like it needs to be because
Does it?
You've told it many
Yeah,
times.
we've done it.
on
Yeah,
this
it's
show.
It's been told.
No, but I think if I told it to social media
For a new generation, a hero for a new generation.
because all those kids that saw this
Forgotten
character,
Bear.
They're
at the
all
monster-
50 years old now. What do you mean all those kids?
No, they were probably like late 20s now, but they went to the arena football games with their old man, and then
That's what we call it. Man in the arena football.
and they went to the Monster Jams, and they saw this like, who is this?
Who was this redneck blue collar icon?
The guy in a bear suit doing these halftime. Like I did it for so long
Yeah.
and so many times. Like, and then it's never gonna happen
There's
again.
no documentary about the
never
Orlando
gonna
Magic
happen.
fat guy. There's no documentary about
Yeah, but
golf
there is.
fan Danny.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Yes.
So this is what you want to do? You want a documentary, an episodic
Of
documentary
the
about
Our
you.
Team of Orlando.
About only about
No,
him.
just Drunky. There's and how they did. I want to go into how they didn't sue me or stop this or how it even happened.
And then the whole documentary is just going to be you. How could I not do it? Is it going to be that?
How did it happen?
How did they let this go on?
the problem is, much like Pauly Shore, I don't want to do any of the work involved in the.
Yeah.
So, like
Now that I agree with. I don't want to do it either.
Yeah. Like in my
I set up the boxes and you do all those jumps. I'm out.
Yeah. Like I just need someone to take all the footage because it's all around. Like find it first of all. It's all over the place. Like it's not organized in
You
any
didn't
way.
keep it?
No, I mean it's like a lot of it's on YouTube, but the rest of it I don't even know. Like there's some pictures and some old photo albums.
I have a
but-
lot of it from my old camera.
but I have no videos.
I have
or-
like a lot of mini DV tapes.
Oh, well.
you
know?
you're gonna get those converted.
Yeah,
to,
we're
like-
gonna have to send those away to be converted.
Yeah. So
what do you think?
I'll send you an email about
Yeah,
I'll list
yeah. Long.
everything. Yeah.
Long.
I need to like it doesn't need to be like I said, just episodic. I think a 10-part would do it justice.
God
10.
dang.
10-part, 30 minutes apiece.
But then at the end, do a reunion,
Yeah, where I sit down.
and then you fight with other people.
No,
Eventually,
fight.
you have a fight. That's what they do at all the reunion shows. It's
Who would be at the Drunky the Bear reunion?
Okay,
Brett Bushy.
Brett Bushy would be there.
He won't show up.
Yeah, he won't. Too busy with solar now. That solar, it's taking off. That solar's, it's fast.
Oh, yeah. No,
Let's see, who else would be there?
It just needs to be me.
Alan Duckworth.
Tuttle.
Alan Duckworth,
No, I don't want Tuttle.
a.k.a. Claw.
Tuttle would have to be because you guys would stunt against each other
Yeah, Tuttle would
sometimes.
be there. Alan Duckworth, a.k.a. Claw, would be there.
Oh.
The senator. What was the guy who eventually took over for Brett Bushy? Remember the senator?
No, yeah. Well, that guy, he's in jail. Sorry, Melissa. I'll send you an email later. So, as a freelance video editor, what
Is there anything you won't video edit?
Well,
If Tom and I started doing one of our other things that we were going to do to make a little extra money is we're going to start dipping our toe into adult content.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Like making our own adult
Oh,
content.
I've had to screen adult content. I used to work at HBO.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So you
I had to watch a lot of the porn and stuff.
Yeah, like Passion Cove or
The real sex and.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're doing is 10-part. Everything we do is 10-part.
Well, hold on. You edited Real Sex?
No. I
Oh.
just screened them. I had to look for
I was like,
deviations in the video and
interesting,
issues with
like,
the audio and.
Pick which scene, and that'd be an interesting job too.
That
Yeah.
would get gross.
Like you and I, we'll set it up where it's we were going to do a series of listener pornos.
Straight from the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
we were going to get them, and then we're going to take them. And,
It's homegrown.
And
That's
yeah,
the term.
We're going to do homegrown, and we're going to set it up so it's like one notch above Gonzo.
yeah.
Like where the
We call it that, notch above
Yeah,
Gonzo.
notch above Gonzo.
Nacho Gonzo.
Nacho Gonzo.
So, yeah.
My
Well,
God,
I'll
if I
put
were
that in the
Mexican,
email.
my name would be Nacho Gonzo. That's a nose joke.
But what's the standard? Is it all over the place with a video editing rate per hour? Like, what does that go for nowadays?
That's the problem. I have no idea.
Okay.
Because you guys were the first people I actually edited stuff for, just kind of on the fly. Because my other job was it was contract, but they paid me, full-time wages. Work 8 hours, 5 days a week. And so then when you guys showed up, I'm like, I don't know what to charge. I have no idea.
And there's no standard. That's what's weird about.
There are no standards.
Because if you go look up, Sam, what does it say in Google when you search, video editor
It's all over
hour
the place.
rate? What does it even say? It'll say something in the
It's
big.
also going to depend on
Where
your
you're at.
portfolio and
Yeah.
stuff too. So
No, I just want to stand.
Let's see,
it'll say something. It'll say.
how to determine professional video editing
Well,
costs.
are we sure we want to do this? Because I
Yeah,
know what we pay her, and I don't know if this is a good idea. I mean, I'm not the business
just talking it
department,
out.
but lately this week I've had to put my hands on it. Stop!
Yeah. You have done that.
What are
yeah,
you
a couple
doing?
times,
I'm
yeah,
like, for God's sake!
Maybe I shouldn't read these out
I
loud.
know, that's what I'm saying.
What does it say?
I'm not the business department, but
Well,
I hate
again, it is all over the place, but the very first article
She's
says
prefacing it. Don't say it.
in between $75 to $150 an hour.
What?
Oh, that's,
150 an hour.
that's not what I'm getting paid.
Well, I shouldn't have read it.
Well, Melissa's fast. That's why.
Not that fast.
Super fast.
Well, it's been nice working
Yeah,
with you.
it
Thank
was
you
a-
for coming in
It
today.
was a good run.
How much actual time are you working? Because this is another
You have to factor in all the
Well, the
organizational
problem is I have to
aspect.
listen, though.
Yeah, but
That's part
that's
of the work.
enjoyment.
Yeah, you're paying.
That's fun.
You
You're
don't
paying-
get to cut that out
No.
of the payment.
You're paying for
Huh?
her knowledge of the show and the
Right,
time that
exactly.
she's invested, and she knows the continuity. She knows the characters.
Inside
So-
jokes, previous jokes.
Yes, she knows all of that. So
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
a
yeah.
premium price for that. You really screwed up in having Sam Google that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that
should've
should be
never
factored
asked.
in. But I look at it like that's the
Who are you,
fun
Seth
part of your job.
Petrozelli?
Yeah.
The old cheapo?
So your take to Melissa is that in editing, we are so
It's
funny,
part of your payment.
and it's
is
so
our
much fun
comedy.
to edit us that's your tip.
That is ridiculous.
So back to that previous question about is it becoming a job? You know.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
having to listen.
Yeah.
Having to listen.
Oh.
And that takes, that's real time.
Yeah, but can you?
Can you put us on 1.2 on the podcast?
People do that. That's weird.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
that's how I listen to the podcast on 1.2.
No,
And I imagine sooner or later you're going to be like, well, I'm not going to listen. I'll just randomly scroll to a part and then just.
Yeah, there's a veto. All right, I'm done for the day.
All right.
Yeah.
Because
Because
there's got to be one in there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with every job, right?
Yeah, you
It
get
starts
the-
off
yeah.
like remember when I started in radio, how like happy I was to be there, dedicated. I was very motivated, and then I mean, it just took weeks. Then I
yeah.
was disgruntled.
Oh, it's like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like every night for a corporate time with Tom and Dan, we do like a little intro. They used
God.
to be intricate. They used to make sense. Now it's like, well, I gotta do it. Just yell it. I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? Okay, there it is, and then we just put it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't got time for that no more.
And we're mad that we even started the tradition of
Well, I get
every
that.
intro.
That's
is
my
different.
fault.
Yeah.
That's my
Where
fault.
it's like no one else does this. Why are we
Yeah.
putting so much effort into
It's like
this?
eventually.
Does anybody care? No one
Eventually,
cares.
the Indian artists that were drawing The Simpsons looked at Matt Groening and were like, "What are you doing, man? We don't want to draw this differently every single time with Bart and the chalkboard. We want to make it just make it the standardized."
Yeah. Like everybody else.
Yeah,
do.
like every other. Some shows now don't even have intros. They just start the show. Have you noticed that?
No, I know it's better.
They've gotten rid of the theme song. They've gotten rid of the credits. They just roll the show. If you want to know who's in it, Google it. I like that better.
So, Melissa, where are you staying at in Orlando?
Oh, personal
Uh,
question.
no,
Oh my
no,
God.
no,
I was
Doctor.
wondering if you would like to grab a drink later.
no, I'm just saying.
Hold on.
No, you leave Key West and now you're in
No,
Orlando.
my mom and my brother live here.
Ah,
so I'm staying
okay.
with my mom out in Lake Nona area.
Gotcha.
Oh, I've heard they call it like no. Let's grab that drink.
Because you hugged her out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know who she was.
This dude'll just hug
Which
any
makes it
stranger.
worse.
Yeah, this guy, you bring anybody in here.
embracing women?
Oh, I love you, boy. We're going to see you.
No. I can tell.
I could bring in anybody, and you'd be like, oh, and then I know what'll happen. You'll text me. You'll be like, oh, where's that?
The chat brings up a good point. You did not offer for her to stay in the Air T&D.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Well, no, you didn't
Would you
ask.
like to stay in the Air T&D?
You didn't ask.
Eventually, yeah.
Well, I
What
got
did
by
you offer?
myself.
You knew she was coming to town.
Well, I don't know. Like I thought you were coming in here for business. Like you had your plans already set.
Coming in on business with a briefcase.
Tom, do you even read the calendar anymore?
No, he doesn't.
And also,
you know
a
why?
side
Because he
note-
was too busy engineering those plant shelves, and he almost got killed.
A lot of work.
He got killed.
I look at overview and I'm like, all right, it looks about the same as it did last month. You got the things, the names up there.
I do too. I look, I say, what do we got here? We got a Gwaltney, a Jen, and Jason. All right, I'm good.
Yeah.
I do it too. I do it too.
And then I'm like, Melissa's coming in. All right, that's good.
You watched Full Transparency last week? I was like, epidural. What the? Who planned that?
Who's having a baby?
That's why I didn't get all up in arms or get scared about it. Is because I didn't have time to get scared.
Oh, have we ever said something, Melissa,
my God.
that made you question?
You want to distance yourself.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know
yes.
about these guys.
Yeah, I don't know
this
about
could,
them.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want my name associated with them.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't really care.
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
really care about
Wow.
anything.
All right. You haven't been listening as hard as I thought you.
Yeah, if you're listening during the Twitch breaks,
Yeah, oh, man.
you would have heard.
Oh, I got some of those bookmarked.
Oh,
yeah.
that's for the file later.
That's too bad. Those are called the Q files.
You know what? I have thought about that, and the fact that Melissa is for the past couple of years, like putting. We actually used Melissa this year to help us with our end of the year awards.
Yeah.
Because like all of a sudden 2 months pass, and we're like, oh yeah, the awards. And then we're like, oh, but Melissa has a lot of the stuff that these jokes. On
Let's
the
go
shows
to the tape.
And so now you do because I always rely on people's laziness, and it's kind of like in radio when you would curse or whatever, and then it would get out. Someone would have to record that and then send it into the FCC,
Yeah.
and there's a whole
They'd
paperwork.
have to edit it,
Yeah.
then document it. I mean, back in the day, you would have had to put it on a cassette tape, take the cassette tape out, label the cassette tape, put it in a manila envelope, write a letter, address it to the correct
Yeah.
people.
And I'm like,
get
no
it to
one's
the
doing
FCC.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they actually did it one time to me.
Well, the
I got a
competitors do that to each other, but they're-
competitors used to do it, and I got an LOI. We've talked about it before.
But
a
no-
letter of intent.
regular people are not doing that.
No.
They're either you're insane
They
or
don't
you're
even
a
know how to do
competitor.
it.
You know, they don't care. But now we have Melissa documenting all these things that we said. I have thought that like this could be a problem one day because like they kick down the door. They start shuffling through
The tapes?
yeah.
Oh, no tapes here, buddy.
No, I know, but they looking through our file cabinet. And
Oh, that's an atrocity in there.
Hey, good luck. If you can figure out what's
Yeah.
in the file cabinet, good on you.
Yeah.
yeah. I taped
For a while, it was just batteries.
I tape
They're
our,
all dead, though. It's weird.
I tape our new business license to the wall every month like a sub shop.
Did you guys pay Sunbiz yet, by the way?
Oh, don't talk about it.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, man. It was 400, now it's
$400
600.
Late fee. It's easier just to pay for a new LLC.
Just let it roll, because at this point, we don't have the money, so just keep accruing.
yeah. Can I just get a new LLC? It's only like
Yeah.
$250, and I pay $400 late fee.
It's crazy that they would do that.
I don't even need the name of the company.
No.
T&D Media stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. Change the name.
Yeah, it doesn't even mean anything. Media? What do you think you are? Sorry.
King Tut.
Why did I say that?
I don't know.
That's
Because you're stupid.
That's your question. You're like, this guy's losing his mind.
Who do you think you are, King Tut?
This guy's CTE is kicking in.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So Melissa,
About those drinks.
would you like to accompany me to Blue Martini?
Would you
Blue
like to go?
Martini.
Would you like to go to Blue Martini for karaoke night? I have a friend that's playing there.
This is
He's a singer-songwriter. His name is Wahey.
Does anybody go to Blue Martini?
Oh yeah,
Is that still open?
I got kicked out of Blue Martini one time.
That's where fancy businessmen used to
Yeah.
go for lunches. That and Hillstone. I've
That's
always wanted to go to
where
both of them.
guys that look like Urban Meyer go to get lap dances from young teens. You look like Urban Meyer. You got jeans and a braided belt, and you tuck your polo into it, and then you have a polo on that has an embroidered collegiate team, and you go up to Blue Martini, and you do that move where you put the back of your ass on the stool. You're not fully sitting down. You're kind of leaning on it, and then you just have her lean grind on you while these singer-songwriters playing,
Wouldn't you look over and be like, who's recording this? Like, can't go on the
Yeah,
internet.
you don't record me getting a grind.
Like, I'm a NFL football coach. Someone's going to put this on the internet. Like, if that happened to me, they would put it on the
Well, you'd be
internet.
at your own sports bar. You'd be at Tom's.
I always wanted that.
Tom's Sports Bar.
Can you-
Drunkies Sports Bar.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Melissa could do the videos for that. Like, I need
Do all the videos for Drunkies Sports Bar.
What, commercials you mean?
Yeah,
I'll see you at Drunkies.
Yeah, people like that.
Yeah, come on down to Drunkies.
I'll hire Fernando. He'll cook the wings.
All right.
Yeah. That's all I need.
Is that where you're going? You're moving to food service.
Mike B, he could work as a
Oh, I
cook.
don't know
What
about
else?
that.
Yeah. No, he'll work there. Who else can work there?
Cadillac Pat?
Cadillac
Cadillac
Pat, yeah.
Pat.
Bartender.
Yeah, you could get
I could put together the whole staff
a
through
celebrity
BDM.
staff. Celebrity
Oh,
staff.
Pat's going to be burying treasure all around drunkies.
They like that. They like that.
Poor Pat buries his trash like a cat burying his turds in a house.
I'll get Jeff Howell to play out there.
Yeah.
Come
Now
on,
it's coming together.
Come on down to Drunkies for a little slice of 2008.
All right, Melissa, thank you so much for everything you do for us.
Yeah,
Your
enjoy
videos
it.
are unbelievable, and hopefully you don't get tired of it. And then
So far, so good.
We appreciate it.
every time I send you an email, I'm like, she's going to ghost me this time. I was like,
No
I was like,
ghosting. No
yeah. Thanks, Melissa.
No, of course.
Bye-bye.
Okay, what are we doing?
I'm sorry.
You made it weird. You're like, thanks,
Did I
Melissa.
make it weird?
Yeah,
you were
you
like,
did.
Why did I
all
make it
right,
weird?
thanks, Melissa.
I thought you were going to go to like an outro.
We always say bye-bye.
We always say bye-bye.
Well, I decided not to that time. I thought you were going to go
All
say it.
right, fine. Bye-bye.
All right.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Let's do some emails.
Indeed. Sam, what you
right.
got for email? That's a lot of emails over there.
Yeah, we're stacking them up now. Just wanted to weigh in on the birthday barbecue discussion about people not eating and only expecting cheese pizza. We just had a birthday for my 4-year-old, and we had 6 racks of smoked ribs for 6 hours, burgers and hot dogs in
Too
case
much.
the kids didn't want ribs.
That's too much.
At the end of the day, we had about 3 hot dogs left. We also put a post in the event page for everyone to know what we were having, and then they sent the so they're like, like a Facebook invite to the parents.
I'm not doing 6-hour smoked ribs for a kid's birthday party. Sorry.
And it gave a list of all the activities that were happening as well as what was going to be on the menu.
That's too
Kids
much.
don't eat ribs.
No.
They-
Well, I will say Maisie loves ribs.
Does she? Yeah.
Well, here's what
she's
happened.
A real woman.
But here's what. No, it's a little bit of that, but it's even more so. She got a sweet taste of that organic meats.
Yeah.
And I had some ribs left over from there, and I smoked them up good, and I pulled all the. She didn't like the bone, but I pulled all the meat off of there, and she's like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever had."
And when I say kids, like I'm talking 8 and younger, I'm thinking
They don't like ribs.
Majority of kids, if you had ribs on a table and cheese pizza, they'll go for the cheese pizza. They're not gonna be like, "Oh, ribs!" Like
No kid's gonna eat those.
ribs seem like an adult thing.
Yeah, the bone is off-putting even for some adults.
Yeah. And
I wonder if that's just what you're used to, though, because growing up, we didn't have pizza a lot, but we ate ribs a lot.
Pizza was a luxury when I was a kid. I'm the dumb old man here, definitely the oldest here. And pizza was a treat. There's a reason that, like, we get pizza like once a month. My dad would order Pizza Hut, and there was no delivery. You would go and get it.
Go drive and pick it up.
You drive and pick it up and bring it back. We had pizza places we went to. We had one mom and pop we loved called Mano's in DeLand. For those of you that are still in DeLand, Mano's, it had the saltiest sausage. That sausage was so damn good. God, it was good. And then we had Pizza Hut, and it was a treat. It wasn't like, oh, we don't have food tonight, and on a whim, we're like, oh, order pizza. There was no such thing
No,
as
we didn't do that
whim
either.
pizza. Like now, in my house, if something gets burned or the crock pot chicken turned out gross, Andrea will be like, I guess we're ordering pizza. There was no such thing when I was a kid as that.
dude, when's the last time you've been in a Walmart?
I go to Walmart a lot. I love it.
Have you seen the frozen pizza
They're
section of Walmart? Is gigantic.
They
It's
have-
bigger than the vegetable section.
Have you seen their frozen pizzas they have in the deli? They won't fit in your oven. They're so big.
Yeah.
But there's an entire section. Same thing with Publix. Was frozen pizzas used to be amongst the frozen foods. Now there's a gigantic 5 bay area of just frozen pizzas. You know, like that never existed. Like so there's so much pizza
Do you
out
guys
there.
buy frozen pizza?
Hardly ever.
We always
buy
have
it.
one on hand. Like we have, it's almost Andrea buys it as like a first aid kit. Yeah, it's like first aid.
Emergency pizza.
Yeah, and we'll have one in there, but it's really like if there have been times that it'll just stay in there until we're like, oh, this is old, and then we have to buy another emergency pizza.
Well, how long can you keep? Because I keep frozen pizza in the deep freezer for I feel like a long
I'm
time.
kind of
like
picky.
8 months.
I look at it and then it gets that freezer burn.
Yeah.
and I hate it. I hate freezer burn.
Well, I'm just giving it to the kids. They'll eat anything.
That's
They-
true.
You know, like as far as cheese pizza, like that's some freezer burn. Freezer burn isn't bad for you. Crystal
No,
will be like,
it's not
"This
bad
has-"
It's
for
not
you.
bad for you. It just kind of,
It kills the flavor.
yeah.
So it's like you could eat around it. I remember
You can eat it.
Yeah, you can eat it.
I think you can eat.
It's just
I've eaten a lot of freezer burn
Yeah.
stuff growing up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
you
mom,
do.
I remember my mom, again, God, not to make this remember when radio, but my mom would go in and get meat for like chili or something, and she'd be like, it has some freezer burn on it, and then she'd get out a serrated knife and just cut the freezer burn part off.
Yeah, it's
And
fine.
then, and then it's good. You know, then you thaw it in the microwave. We thawed all of our meat in the microwave. That is so disgusting. So disgusting.
I still do that.
Oh man, it's just gross.
Oh, there's a
you're
defrost.
cooking it. Yeah, it's not. It's bad. Don't do that.
But I'm too.
Just set it out the night before in the fridge.
Well,
and let
that's
it,
the
come
problem.
on, plan a little bit, buddy.
Well,
Come on.
that's the problem. Bad at life.
Don't be microwave cooking your ground beef. That's disgusting.
Yo, I put it in there.
Oh.
And it cooks the ends.
Oh,
the
yeah.
sides. yeah. So it'd be like brown.
Yeah, the ends are
Or-
brown,
or like-
the middle's pink, and then you put it in there. And he's only cooking meat for him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually support it for you because you're a one-off. If it were for the whole family, though, I'd have to put my foot down and tell you to stop that. Knock that off.
So back to the birthday party. I understand that there's people that do grandiose barbecues for the birthday party. My point was that I just believe that, especially if they're not your friends or family, like they're like the kids' classmates and like stranger moms are showing up to parties. They're just because of the norm. They expect a cheese pizza because that's what all these places do. All the Chuck E.
It's just
Cheese
easy,
and
right?
Monkey Joe's.
Everyone
and,
can just grab a slice.
and then so I think that's expected. Then when you deviate from that and start having a full barbecue with ribs and stuff, although I would appreciate it
Messier.
more. Like
It's messier. Yeah, more napkins are going to be needed. More sauces are going to be needed. Even with hamburgers, you're going to need mustard, ketchup,
Yeah, all the
pizza.
condiments.
Pizza is literally a box and a pizza. That's it.
and the
Yeah.
stranger mom,
Napkins.
they showed up not even hungry already because they thought it was just going to be pizza. So they're not going to dive into your ribs and potato salad and like all this huge
That's more of a family.
more of a cookout.
Yeah.
So anyway, next.
Well, it was a
email.
4-year-old, so I'm assuming it was probably all close friends and family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because a 4-year-old, they're in pre-K,
Are
maybe.
you really inviting your pre-K?
You're right. No
friends? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's all free.
I don't
yeah.
know.
So you're having an adult party and then kids are around. That's
Right.
different. You're having an adult cookout. Of course, all the food's gone because all the adults ate it. Because they're all your friends and family.
Yeah.
They're not strangers. Anyway, go ahead.
Hi, T&D fam. Please tell Tom to get on Facebook and find a Buy Nothing group in his area. You post items and people will ask to be chosen to get it. You pick whoever you want to gift it to and they come and get it off from your porch. I listed an IKEA dining table set on the marketplace and I couldn't get any buyers. I put it on a Buy Nothing and it gave it to a nice family. No in-person interaction required for most things. People list wild stuff like leftover birthday cake and slightly used sitz bath along with furniture, toys, and clothes. I needed a couch gone and somebody picked it up a few hours later. They brought moving help with them. I no longer drive my useless stuff anywhere.
Well, that's what I use the BDM page for. The BDM will get it.
Buy Nothing group?
Buy Nothing group.
Is this a...
It's just like a free, it's like
Like a curb alert, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've had this on Craigslist for years. Like you could post it for free on Craigslist, and I posted bricks one time, like a bunch,
bricks are important.
a bunch of.
Buy Nothing Orlando, Buy Nothing Central.
Did you have a
Lake
little
County.
pig drive by?
An old lady came and got all my bricks, and it took her like 3 days of her like walking to my backyard getting
3 days?
Yes,
Oh, my
yes.
God. Every day she'd swing by for 6 bricks?
I had a pile of bricks.
Oh, my God.
They were all in my backyard.
You didn't help her at all? You're just like...
I was at work,
Oh.
and she would text me like, "I'm here for more bricks." I'm like, "Go through the side gate."
Oh,
and
get
as-
him, you old bitch.
No, get as many bricks as you want. I remember I posted a palm tree one time in Deltona, and a radio listener came by
Oh, the brick guy's got palm trees.
and dug up an entire. It was like a 15-foot tall queen palm, and he dug it up and then put it on a trailer and took it out. And then sold it to another person for $300.
My
Like
God.
they took. I mean, they'll come and get free stuff.
Are mall trees real? I was in Millennium Mall.
I think so.
I was
Yeah.
in Millennium Mall over the weekend. That's the big fancy mall here in town that for those of you out of town, it has like a Louis Vuitton in there. And there are these huge palm trees in there. And Maisie touched them and I touched them. And I'm like, are these real?
Yeah, they're real. They
I
got enough
don't,
light
they're
in there.
huge, dude. They're like, I don't know. They appear to be like 25 feet tall.
Yeah, they bring them in there. Which Millennium Mall?
Millennium
yeah,
Mall.
I've been
They're
growing for a while.
huge.
Yeah.
But they're all uniform height, which makes it look fake. They're all like perfect.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I want
to
you to
say,
see
but
'em.
I
wanna
think
drive
they're
you-
real.
I want to drive you up there because my wife was like, they're fake. And I'm like, I don't know.
You know who's got good plants? The Orlando Airport.
They do have
Every
good
time
plants.
I go to the Orlando Airport, there's especially in the middle section where all the terminals are.
Mm-hmm.
Like after you take the tram out, like they got a nice display of plants.
Have
a
you
bunch of
ever
them.
stolen a cutting from a place that didn't know you were taking a cutting from them?
I would, but these particular plants they can't be propagated through cutting. So these things,
Gotcha.
you gotta get a pop or a seed. Anyway,
Okay.
plant.
Next email.
Okay. Relaxing Xbox game. Have you tried Pressure Washer Simulator?
Yes. It's free right now with Game Pass.
Or as Tommy and Max call it, Gutter Sim. Super relaxing and on Game Pass. I promise if I see you play, I won't message you that you missed a spot. Also, did you buy FSD? I didn't know if it was radio exaggeration that your car drives itself.
Oh, full self-driving is what that means. I'm trying it. I didn't purchase it.
Okay. And if you didn't, and thinking about it, Elon did say the price would go up again this year.
Yeah.
I'm a 395 BDM, so I don't have 12K laying
No,
around.
neither do I.
I hope you're doing good after your epidural.
Yeah, let's talk about this game. I think you would like it. It's Pressure Washer Simulator. You have all different kinds of pressure washers you can buy. You have a suit you wear. You have different nozzles. You have different washers you can buy, different solutions you use.
Well, first, shout out to our new sponsor,
Yeah.
FirehousePressureWashing.com. Local firefighter owns it, and a great pressure washing company. We'll be doing some commercials for them this month.
Indeed. So if you need the real deal, we got guys for you.
So back to this.
We should set this up and have the guys from Firehouse come in
and
and destroy all-time high scores.
They probably wouldn't be good at it because they're like, "I was good at it in real life, not the stupid game."
Yeah, you're probably right.
But remember the video game Sim City?
Yes.
Still around.
Yeah, still around.
And then there was
There's The Sims. There's
The Sims.
Roller Coaster Tycoon's a big one.
So in the late 90s, there's like, I think The Sims came out in 99 or something like that. I was still in high school.
Earlier 2000s game for sure.
And I remember my buddy the Wizard made this joke that it's coming true nowadays. And it's that he's like, there's going to be a person in the future playing this game. That was in the 90s. He's like, they're going to be taking out the virtual trash in their house. And meanwhile, behind them is a giant pile of trash.
Real trash.
Real trash.
Yeah.
And they're taking out the virtual trash in the video game. And I always thought that was funny. And this is the equivalent to that, right?
Oh, we got a lot of listeners that play pressure washing simulator in the chat room. Good Lord, you guys.
Hold on. But
I won't download it because Andrea already made fun of it. Like she walked by, saw it, and goes, what is that? And I get bullied so much in my house that I'm not downloading that.
But I understand the psychology behind Pressure Washer Simulator, and because there is a relaxing element to just doing something mindless and back and forth, and then seeing the end result after you clean a particular driveway or whatever. So there's a bunch of stimulation.
Yeah, mindless back and forth.
Where it's mindless, but then there's also an ending where you see the results of your work, which is beneficial. And so, like, I understand all the... Don't you want to do that in real life to benefit your real life and not just waste of time in a computer? Like, if you're
it's easier though. The setup, you're getting the same. Okay, if the end result is, let's say, swiping back and forth and cleaning, right, and that produces chemicals in your brain that make you feel good.
Yes.
Then one of them, you have to own a pressure washer, hook up the water, know what you're doing. It's loud, yada, yada, right? You got that on one side. And on the other side, you have something that still produces the same chemicals of seeing the cleaning space, that good adrenaline, whatever you want to call it, in your body. But it's $12, and all you have to do is hold a controller, and you can do it in your underwear.
So it's easier to get the same stimulation.
Well, it's not exactly the same stimulation, but I would argue that what you're chasing in design is about the same, right? It's just going to be, the real one's obviously going to be more rewarding because it's authentic and it's real. The other one is like, to steal one of your arguments, would be like, what, 30% less?
You're microdosing the same chemical stimulation.
I think I did an okay job of explaining that to you.
Yeah. But you're not getting the advantage of the real life.
No.
Now, say you're right, because not everybody has a pressure washer, and hire a professional.
I don't have one. In fact, washing my car, I've been actually thinking about it, because you can get like those crazy foam cannons, and you can foam up your car all crazy. And I look at that, and people are like, well, in order to do that, you really need a pressure washer. And I'm like, man, do I have to buy one? I don't want to buy one.
Okay, speaking of washing your car,
don't you have an extra one I can borrow, a pressure washer?
I broke it. So I'm just going to use our sponsor for now. I didn't really break
Smart man.
It started smoking crazy. I was out.
It's broken.
It started smoking, and then I was like, "Oh God, why is it smoking?" And then I was like, I haven't changed the oil in a long time. So then
call Firehouse.
So then I checked the oil. I was like, it's gonna be bone dry. And then as soon I was like, it started like it was too full.
What was it, hot when you were opening it up?
Oh, so it was molten lava. And then
you're not supposed to do that.
And then when I took it out, and the engine
spraying oil
hot,
on your face.
And then the oil started pouring out, but it was like the oil had water in it. Like it was very thin, watery oil. And then I realized...
I put salad dressing in here.
No, the gasket, there's an internal gasket that must have deteriorated or
deteriorated basket.
And the water got into the oil case, and then it diluted the oil, and that was causing smoking. And then
ruined.
no, it just needs the gasket needs to be fixed. And then I'm like, oh God, So now that we got a pressure washer sponsor, I'm just using them. But
I don't blame you.
I could fix it. I could go on YouTube and then sit down and find out how to order the gasket. It would take 12 hours. I don't got 12.
Just hire the guys.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like, yes, you can fix it. And then I was telling my sister, I was like, here, do you want this? Because my sister's good with small engines and stuff.
Yeah.
And
she's extremely capable
she
human.
Works on her 4-wheelers and stuff. And then she's like, don't buy a new one. I'll fix it, and then we could use it because she borrows it. And I was like, I don't have the time to dedicate to fixing this gasket, because honestly, the same pressure washer is $380. This is why we're ruining the earth and we're all going to be dead.
Just buying new stuff
because we stopped. My pop-up had the same old 1980s pressure washer that he would just fix over and over.
They maintained it.
Yeah. Andrea's dad gave me an air compressor that looked like it was owned by Thomas Jefferson, and it like it had a wheel on the outside and a rubber belt that would move. Totally unsafe. It would suck your arm in and like rip it off. And then he would be like, it doesn't get to full pressure because the tank's got a hole in it. I've welded it a few times. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, because
can I get a new one?
A new pancake compressor.
$70.
Oh yeah,
$70.
I think I was gonna say $150.
I got it on sale, $70.
So $70. So it's not even worth.
Little pancake, little Craftsman, get a great warranty.
And so it's society's fault for making things so cheap that it's now not worth putting the time and effort into fixing it.
Plus, the one that I'm buying is better than this one. I mean, but I didn't get rid of it because there's a part of me that would look at this older one and to be like, I should be the type of guy to fix that. And since I'm not, what I'll do is I'll hide it.
Okay,
I'm serious.
I like this.
Look, this is why people like our show, is because we're honest.
Oh.
I didn't throw it out. I put it in a Rubbermaid bin, and I hid it.
Yeah.
Because I'm too much of a pussy to fix it.
yeah.
You want the real? That's the real.
But you don't want to throw it out because I would admit.
Other people would see it. He might ask me, where is it? At least now if he asks, where is it? I can, here it is.
But also, you would admit to yourself, I am too much of a pussy to fix this.
Not enough time. Don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Too lazy.
I don't like the way it looks either. Can I say that? It's ugly and old, and I don't want ugly and old. I want new and red and shiny.
You're not handy enough to do it.
Well, I could. I am handy enough to do it.
But it would take you weeks again, like following all the protocol.
Correct.
You have to notch out a couple hours each day to go through all the steps. Like that's the thing. It's too much time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next email.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got time for one more.
COVID shows. You guys killed it. How did you make the audio so good and still funny? I know you hated it at your end, but the shows were fantastic. Thanks for powering through.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, and I'm going to do what Andrea says I'm not good at, and I will try to take that compliment. But I very much dislike Zoom shows. I very much dislike doing the show other than the way we do it normally, which is staring into each other's bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. So for me and Daniel, like we've talked about this when we were doing the COVID shows and doing it remotely. And kudos to Daniel for putting together a rig that makes me sound. I didn't even realize how good it sounded until Melissa's video of one of the COVID shows. I'm like,
it's a little muffled. I have a better mic for you for next time.
But it sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna give you the same mic Sam has. Sam's using a little bit brighter mic, and I'm gonna have you switch to that if we have to do it again. But he'll sound closer to the way you sound, and then I'll have my dream, which is it'll be perfect. Well, as perfect as we can get it.
But there is a slight, and I know, and thank you for saying that you enjoyed them, but there is a disconnect that it's hard for me and Daniel. I'm sure, Sam, you feel it too. Like, we've done it in the same room for so long that when we do it remotely, there is a disconnect that makes me uncomfortable. I don't know about you guys, but it makes me feel like something's off.
It's not the same for sure, but I didn't think that any of the shows were bad.
No, they're not bad, but they're not up to my, I would say, standards. Like there's some GD standards.
Well, there is. No, there is.
I just feel like
we don't delineate it. We don't talk about it, but there are standards.
Yeah,
I think we've fallen into actually an upper category because the number of emails I get from people that are like, "Man, you've spoiled us because your audio quality is really good." We get a lot of those, and that is by design. Like I want it to sound good, or I mean, why are we doing this if it sounds terrible?
Like, Patrick Mahomes could play with a Nerf football, right? Like, you throw that damn thing on. But he's like, I can't get the same
it's not going to be the
velocity out of it. I can't.
He would probably hate it. Yeah.
Like I could throw this thing, but it doesn't feel the same. It's a little bit off. And people look at it and like, he's still Patrick Mahomes. That's what I think people look at me like.
Justin Bieber, Patrick Mahomes,
Game Tut. We can't. I mean,
I don't like it when you do it in person.
it's a live clowning.
Yeah. When I see the videos, I'm like, the computer's making fun of me.
What's the algorithm?
Gotta pay that algorithm.
Goddamn computer.
Like, I don't associate like a real person. I can just think a computer put this together.
You know what's funny is I normally think that too. I look at that and I go, wow, how did that happen? It's like, I forget that it's Melissa behind the screen the entire time.
We can never see you. So it's just that the videos come out and then I'm like, oh, it's out.
There is a little bit of a disconnect
Well,
there.
It's gotta be weird.
Yeah, definitely.
But we don't. But the problem is we don't give you credit for it. How good it is. We just think
actually do give the computer credit.
we just think it magically
The computer is funny.
they get put together.
Yeah.
You know what weirds me out? Okay, this is all get the old man button.
You know what weirds me out? Interracial relationship. Why would you say that, Tom?
Crystal was showing me that Facebook now puts together music montage.
Yes, I hate it.
Picture videos. And now it has like the AI technology to like life in trees. And then it's and then it's all the pictures that she posted of us and our family in trees.
Yeah, like mine was pet fun.
What?
Yeah, mine was like, or time with pets, and it was like all pictures of my dead dog Caesar
I haven't seen
set to
any of
music.
those.
I'm like,
You
that's a
haven't?
lot.
No.
So they
Google Photos does that.
Yeah,
too.
it's terrible.
Weird.
they do one where it's sunsets. Like every picture you did of sunset is like
It just shows you how basic you are because you've taken 1,000 sunset photos.
and then it puts it to music, and then we're watching it. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, that's
Wowie wooey.
I'm like, oh wow,
Fancy.
whoa. I'm like, the computer did that, and then I thought, oh, they're taking Melissa's job. Like
They're taking our jobs.
computer.
They're taking our jobs and sending them overseas. Wahoo!
But they're doing what Melissa's doing, right? They're the computer's doing it.
No,
So,
it's not the same.
It is not the same.
not
I
clever,
appreciated it
it's
just the
basic.
same.
Oh,
Wow,
my
that's
God.
insulting.
This is the guy.
Now you've blown it.
Yeah, this
should've
is the
left
guy
at
who,
noon.
when
I
he
don't
gets
know how hard it
he
is.
gets a screensaver and he can load photos into it of his family, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa,
Wowie wooey.
look at that!
Fancy.
Fuck, God, put that screensaver back on again. Oh, there I am. Look at that. I'm at the Gator Nationals.
It's all the pictures, and they're going from one picture to the other, and then they do the thing where it moves in,
Yeah,
like go closer
that's-
to my
oh.
You ever
face.
seen a goddamn slideshow before?
I do a zoom. I do a light zoom.
It zooms in.
I'll give that 5 wahoo.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So we've got the B-Boys
Yeah.
in from BlanchardInsurance.com.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew and Joe are here. How you guys doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for being here.
Jamie's also on the line. She's in her car driving.
Live
Very
via-
dangerous.
Live via the Zoom. There's Jamie.
But she's got good insurance.
she
I
has-
know that.
She
right.
has excellent insurance as she's rocketing down 95.
Although I think Geico would be like, we saw the reason you got in a crash. It's a broadcast on the internet.
We were watching Twitch.
Hey, I have watched your show while driving, but we're not going to tell anybody.
No, that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
Yeah,
And
no one's listening.
I certainly would never watch baseball in my Tesla while it's driving me down the road.
So, let me ask
Maybe.
you guys, and the reason we have you on today is because I'm sure a lot of people see all these stories on social media. Like I get I never actually click and read them. I just see the headline and believe everything, and then
Yeah,
move
that's what
on.
I do too. I'm a headline guy.
Yeah. I know it's not even the whole headline. I just pick out the words that I want.
It speeds up time. I'm just
Do you
like
share
this.
them as well?
Yeah. Oh, I look at it. I just see whatever the buzz. I take it and I'm like, oh, well, that's the gospel.
Yeah. And then I don't even actually. I just take the word and then put my own beliefs.
Well, then
behind
I
it.
pass it on. Then I pass it on to other people. I go, hey, did you hear about
Oh, yeah.
X? Nah, coming to get you.
And then I get mad at them if they try to say that's not true.
And they're like, that's not true. And I go, Google it. Google it,
Do your
mister.
own research.
Yeah, look it up, fact checker.
So I see the stories about like another insurance company leaves Florida, and they're
They're
like,
all leaving us.
Another one bites the dust.
and then they're like, this is 7 now, and I'm like, 7? I didn't even know there was 5.
Yeah, the missing 7.
I see these things and I'm like, well, that's got to cause some sort of problem, right? Like, it can't be a good thing.
No.
For not only like all of us who need to have insurance, but for like the insurance companies in general. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
For the state of just the industry, I guess.
Yeah, no. I mean, Southern Fidelity had 50,000 policies that were canceled in 2 weeks with, pretty much no notice. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of issues and people are having to deal with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if you don't understand it, I'm sure, and for me, like I've said this before when you guys have been in here, insurance can be very scary. And it's scary to me because there are a lot of things. I'm a little baby. I'm a little veal, and there's things that I don't understand and I don't want to understand.
That's what the B-Boys are for.
Yeah, they call me head in the sand Dan.
So, Southern Fidelity was the most recent one.
Yeah, Southern Fidelity, and then we just got word that Bankers Insurance Group, they're not going through insolvency, but they're pulling out their entire book of business. So it's another company that's no longer in the state, but they're not one of the 7 that's gone out of business.
Now, I would be mad at them, but I kind of understand.
You like the fact that they have Southern in their name, and you're like, Southern Fidelity.
Yeah.
Not that Yankee
Southern
Fidelity.
folk.
Oh, Yankee Fidelity.
Well, I feel like they're like, we're not insuring these people anymore because we're going somewhere else.
Those dang Floridians.
Well, and also too, guys, it's not just the companies that pulled out of Florida. It's companies not writing more in Florida, or they've closed new business. So that's another part of it too.
I think Robot Jamie's trying to say that, there's a lot of companies, too, that are just not writing in the state of Florida, not only Bankers, but, specifically in, Solo County, as they call it, Seminole, Orange, Lake, and Osceola.
Now, I blame South Miami, and because
that's where it all started.
Thank you, B-boy. Because like I've told you, it all seems to stem from horrible corruption that was a way of life in Miami.
It does seem to work its way up the D of Florida.
You know how many friends I've known in Miami that have some giant hole in their living room with fans going into it? and then I'm like, what's this hole?
I should laugh at that.
It's true. And I'm like, what's this always?
Was this always here?
He put a rug over it. And I'm like, you have a giant hole in your living. He's like, oh, yeah, the pipes. And I'm like, what pipes? Why are these fans here? He's like, oh, yeah, they charge the insurance company $8,000 for these fans. And I'm like, $8,000? He's like, yeah. Once the lawsuit gets settled, I'm going to get $300,000.
You'll see.
You'll see. $300,000 for old pipes? Like, this house isn't worth that. Anyway, everybody had holes in their living rooms.
So you come from that land.
And fans blowing under the carpets, and then they drive an Escalade with rims.
Yeah. You come from that area.
Yeah. Then the public adjuster shows up, and you're like, you got 2 Rolexes on?
Oh, yeah.
How do you afford 2
one on each
Rolexes?
arm.
Anyway, so a lot of that has screwed us all.
Yeah, pretty much. Few bad seeds ruin it for everyone.
So now what do we do, though? So now, obviously, a bunch of insurance is, they're stopped writing policies in Florida. They're like, I'm tired of dealing with these Floridians and their fans. Or you're just stopping business here and pulling out. So now it seems like a lot of people need insurance, and there's less and less insurance companies.
No, absolutely. And we try to take a different approach. We always say if you're going through the situation, give us a call. We have plenty of options. But we really do try to be different because a lot of agencies right now, they're throwing pretty much, all of their non-renewals at Citizens. And I'm not sure if you've heard anything about Citizens, but, they're a not-for-profit government entity, and they're slowly becoming the number one insured company, or not insured, but number one insurance company in Florida, meaning that they have the most policies here in the state of Florida.
All right, well, if they're government-owned, they're going to be efficient.
Yeah,
and everything's
on the up and up.
It'll
be
by
easy, fast, convenient.
The best and the brightest is what I say.
Onward and upward. And
Uncle Sam, I seen him. He's
sky's
pointing.
the limit. Sure.
He's pointing at you. Mad. Why are you mad? You got fans. Too many fans. So is that bad for us? The trying to get insurance? Like, how is this going to play out?
Yeah,
Like,
how does this affect us?
are rates going to continue to go up because people are paying insane amount of money for homeowners insurance now?
Yeah, I mean, rates are definitely going to go up. We try not to focus too much on the rates right now just because there are a lot of companies that are going out of business. So, I mean, it's gotten to the point of, can you find someone to write you business, and you have to be a little bit less price sensitive unless you want to end up in Citizens. And, my boss gave us the analogy of, Citizens is kind of like a public pool where, it's overcrowded, everyone's in there, there's not enough lifeguards, and,
lot of
something
pee-pee.
Yeah, a lot of pee-pee,
Yeah.
lightning strikes in there, and everyone's...
Lots of pee-pee, and occasionally a doo-doo. Occasionally a doo-doo.
It's not a Snickers bar.
Yeah, no, that is not a Baby Ruth.
But it wouldn't come out like a Snickers bar. That's
Yeah, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point that I'm sure Jamie wanted to hear about. I'll put Jamie up there so you can see.
No.
So you can see Jamie. I'm sure Jamie wanted to hear you say that it wouldn't come out like that, Tom.
Yeah, it would be like a cloud.
Yeah, it would come out. It would, you know what? It's going to come out like
Dissipate.
it's going to look like fish flakes. It'll look like brown fish flakes. Back to you, Tom.
Sorry. So is this like, what are the repercussions that we're all feeling, and what can people do? Of course, we tell everybody to call Blanchard, talk to you guys. You'll figure out what's
Let them
the
do
cheapest
that for
option.
you. Don't be scared of it. Don't talk to the guys that are gonna. They want you to call. Trust me. They want to give you the information.
So what should people do?
Yeah, I mean, besides give us a call, I mean, that's obviously what we always recommend, but is, really just kind of educate yourself. There's a lot of information out there. Like I said, there's, unfortunately, fraud is the number one thing that we're dealing with the water claims and the fans coming in, and, they're charging insurance companies $30,000 to $300,000, and then that's not including if they ever go to litigation. There's multipliers, so the lawyers are making, we've seen a $70,000 water claim where the lawyer made $1 million on it before. So, I mean, it's just, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, there's not too much that you can do other than just make sure you have a good agent that, is putting you with the right company. There's a lot of, companies out there that, as we've seen with time go on, that go out of business because they don't price accordingly. They don't do the correct underwriting. And we try to make sure that we only write with, the reputable companies. And pretty much the companies that we write with are the ones that are, still existing today. So.
Sure.
And also, there's like insurance companies I know are dropping people for if their roof is too old, or if they're making people do these upgrades before they're even considering to renew their policy. They're like, oh, you got to buy a new roof and you have to redo your wiring, because like you're too risky to insure. And
mine kept changing on my older house. The house I had that was from 1951, I think.
The older homes are a bit rough. You used to be able to write them with any company without any inspection, so you could just write a property knowing that it was going to burn down in a couple days or whatever. So they've gotten a little bit more strict on that, which is what we're seeing. What I would say to that is just make sure that your agent's checking your options out there, because with some of the, I won't say any names, but it's not uncommon for us to get calls where basically they haven't had anyone that checks their rates, and that's something that we typically like to do, is make sure that you are with the best option available, and that we're not able to get you anything better at that time.
So this brings me to myself and my own insurance problems. So
I knew there'd be an angle.
So it seems
I
evident.
made a mistake. And I'm sorry. I'd like to take this time to apologize to the listeners. I don't know what he's going to say. When he does these, they're so long and drawn out. It could be Jimmy Swaggart. He could infidelity. Could be anything.
No, well, my wife told me. I got a letter, but my wife's the one that crows at me like, we got a letter. Our insurance company is going to drop us.
I'm not insured.
I told you they're not going to like that new roof. I'm like, I thought it was illegal to get
but
dropped.
look at my Rolexes.
And then anyway, so now I'm looking at we have old wiring, right? Mm-hmm. And I know I think I've talked about this before.
Well, why don't you work on that instead of putting up the plant shelves?
Well,
get rid of that stripper pole and fix your plumbing.
Well, the plumbing's
We'll go to your plant shelves if your house burns down.
It's all a scam too. The wiring's fine. Aluminum, whatever else.
Aluminum, pure aluminum.
No, it's just as safe. My buddy told me.
Wiring, schmiring.
He said all the wiring's the same. That's all Obama. They just
That's not true. true. The wires
He
in
said
my
that
old
Obama's
1951 house, they were copper and they were wrapped in paper, which is how you start fires.
Yeah, well,
Right? You take metal, you wrap it in
Yeah.
paper, and it lights a fire.
Well, that's what he said. You gotta get.
I've never started a fire before. I don't know.
You gotta get the paper out of there. Like that.
So you got to unwrap all your copper wires, then you'll be good to go.
But he said you can get like you don't have to rewire your whole house. You could just get the junction.
You just get a jump box.
Well,
Yes, you have
to go
you
to
gotta
every
do the quick and dirty. Just don't do it right. Get the jump box.
No, but he said that's just the same
No,
as rewire
but
your
it's
whole
not.
house.
If it were, it would be the same.
Because it's all about the connection and then the heat, and it heats and cools, and then it creates a loose, and then there's an arc and the paper.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about connectors on like aluminum wiring.
Yeah.
That's what he's
He
got.
always
That place
knows.
is a tinderbox. And guess what he did this weekend? He stained wood, which makes it more flammable, and he glued it to his walls.
So here's what now after you get it done, then you only need a letter, right, from whoever did it saying like, hey, it's done, right? And then the insurance
is
company's
done.
like, they don't actually send anybody in there to look at the paper still in there, right? They want need the letter, right?
Yeah, it has to be by
Invoice,
an invoice by a licensed contractor that they can reference it back to.
What
for
if
all
it's
Well, they need a license for electricity. Can it be? Can it be any license? Because I got a license.
I got it.
it might need to be a contractor's
I
license.
mean, I have a hat that
They have a
says-
license for it?
I
a
have
driver's license will not work.
What about a hat that says "license to misbehave"?
That
I
you
got
might have
that.
to take that up with the board. I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm loosely talking about insurance fraud. Anyway, so regardless, there's going to be certain upgrades that are going to help you get insured because the insurance companies, because there's less of them, they could be more picky, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, having updates to your home is always going to help. If you have a home over than 40 years old, having an updated electrical system, plumbing system, and then, newly serviced HVAC system is always going to help.
Like, you
Isn't
get that
your
new
house
panel.
like your age?
What?
Isn't your house like your age?
It's older. It's older than my
Is
age.
it
Oh, yeah.
older than you?
70s. 70s.
Oh man, mine was built in 05. No big deal.
I remember I had to replace my panel, and then when someone saw it, some BDM, so I'll get all my work done.
Oh, I remember this.
He's like, oh man, you've got the real bad one, the ones that just burn your house and
yeah,
family.
you got the child
What?
killers.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
why would
Yeah,
they
the
make
guy
that?
said that to his wife, who's like overly concerned about stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the one that just, man, that'll get you. It'll kill you good."
There was already like a big black burn spot
Yeah.
in the middle of it.
Oh, geez.
Well, that's where you were always going to smoke your weed. He'd be putting his roaches out on the side of it. He's like dabbing them out on there.
Well, it has a door.
Yeah,
you close the
and
door.
You close the door. You put your lighter in there. You put a roach in there.
Trying to start a fire.
A lot of dads do that.
And also, if you have the trampoline or anything dangerous, they'll drop you, right? Because they're looking for reasons to drop you.
Yeah. I mean, if you got a trampoline, I mean,
Do
there's.
you guys fly drones over houses?
We
to
don't
see the
fly
trampoline?
drones.
They do.
Not you guys. Those guys.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, because they were like.
I would shoot a
Can they
drone
dr-
out of the sky if it's videotaping my.
I think
trampoline.
that's legal, isn't it? I don't know.
Well, hold on. Is the law like? Can they just? They have to have some reason to drop you, right? Or can they drop you for no reason?
No, they make up reasons.
Make up stuff.
Yeah, they're really good at making reasons up or like being very vague with it. It doesn't meet our guidelines.
You were doing the thing.
Well, can't I say? Well, I'm not doing that thing.
We have footage of you doing the thing.
No, I. Oh,
And
it's
then
a
you're like,
water,
oh my god! And then you're like, oh god, what do they have? And then you're like, all right, dude.
as I'm water skiing with neck brace. Do they do that anymore?
Yes.
Do they send PIs out?
Yeah,
if I
yeah. We
get
have
the-
BDMs that do workers' comp.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fraud in workers' comp.
Yeah.
They'll send investigators out.
Yeah,
to
we
you,
have
follow
BDMs that do
you.
that. We can talk. Well, no, I asked, and they said they can't because it gets a little too close. Because they're actually dealing with, they're going out in the field,
Maybe
snapping
that's the
photos
problem.
from the bushes.
Everybody I ever met that's on workers' comp, some sort of. What the-
Yeah.
Well, it seems like if I threw a frisbee, they'd catch it. Like, I'm like, well, how you can't work? What's wrong with you? Like you're standing. What? I don't know.
You do that move where they're in the
I'm like,
wheelchair.
how
and
bad
you-
is your neck?
You do that move where they're in the wheelchair and you trip, like seemingly holding a whole big gulp cup, but there's
they
nothing
catch
in it. And then they're like, whoa! And then they get up and move, and then they're like, ha ha! Gotcha.
All right, Jamie, are you still there? Sorry.
Oh.
She's there,
Improvise.
but her connection is a little spotty. But yeah,
Gotcha.
she's monitoring the B-boys. They're
We're keeping it appropriate.
Is everything the B-boy's saying correct, Jamie? Very good.
We'll take that as a yes.
that we froze. Oh my god.
Oh, that's fun. So thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate it.
It's always good seeing you
Thanks
guys.
for having us, guys. I was gonna say Mike did want us to challenge you guys to a golf event, but it sounds like we might have some issues with that. So I don't know if that.
I mean, we could
I'll
do
take
that.
the challenge.
Yeah, game on.
I take
Tell
any challenge.
Yeah, tell Mike he's as good as dead.
Well,
We
you
got
gotta-
him.
Yeah, we'll have some camera people out there or whatever, and we can turn it into like a little event or something.
So who versus who? What are we
Well,
talking
I was gonna
about?
say like the B-boys versus Tom and Dan, but you can have like a
The B-boys versus the T&D boys.
Okay. Well,
you can have a fill-in if that's what you got to do.
All
well,
right.
okay. Well, yeah, let's make it a threesome, and then we'll.
Hey.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Whoa, take me out for a drink first.
There's a couple BDMs that.
Let's make it a wrestling match, tag team wrestling match.
I'm not getting oiled
You guys
up.
wrestle?
Right?
Yeah, do you guys wrestle? We're not. It's a wrestling's fake, but we'll get in there. We'll oil up. We'll launch each other around a little bit. I'll put you over.
And then can we go out and party after a
Yeah.
blue martini?
Yeah, and then afterwards, we would like to take you to a fancy night of cocktails at the Blue Martini, and we'll dance the night away.
That's where all like the insurance executives. I could have been in insurance.
Me too.
Yeah. I like wearing.
I got
polos.
fancy written all over me. I walk around. And definitely, I'd be the guy that like cheats on his wife.
Oh, there's always that guy.
Yeah, there's always
Yeah,
that
there's
guy.
always
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys go to this year's insurance convention?
We didn't, but actually, I think Jamie and Mike did, and Allie as well. So we had some representatives out there.
It's
A lot of cheating going on there. Man, I'd
big
love to be
party.
there to cheat on my wife. Pumping by the pool, pumping in this place, pumping over there.
Of all the insurance conventions I've gone to, because my family's in the business,
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't seem like anybody's doing any business here.
Yeah. This is
like,
networking.
where everybody's.
I feel like all
by
you're
the
doing,
bar.
Yeah, all you guys are doing is ruining your families.
just drinking by the bar.
Yeah, have you seen our networking events? It's all drinking.
And then the Florida Georgia line plays. And then I'm like, how much was
Hey, is everybody good and drunk?
That was 800,000
Is everybody
for
good
the
and drunk?
hour?
Everybody good and drunk, ladies and gentlemen. Lady A.
And
When
I'm
they
like,
put Lady A up on the stage, and then you say Lady Annabella, and then someone, you can't call them that.
$800,000 for Florida Georgia line.
Oh, yeah. Well, Georgia Line doesn't show up, but Florida was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a solo
You can't
gig.
get both. All right, guys. Thanks so much. BlanchardInsurance.com. Contact the B-Boys, Jamie Hoover,
B-boys out.
and they'll take care of you.
Let's see. I'll check in with Jamie. Oh, my God. It's just Inception. She must have gone.
No.
Whoa.
What an inception happened?
The internet got her.
We'll be right back.
All right, thanks, guys.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So you got a text from Maisie, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. She has a watch that she can text from. It's nothing super fancy, but it's kind of cool. And she's at camp today. And I just picked up my phone, and I had a message from her, and it said, well, I don't like what it said. It said, "Hi, Dad."
Yeah, my kids are calling me Dad now. Yeah.
Well, I know what happened here. You can't really type from the watch. It has like pre-programmed like little short messages that she can say.
Yeah.
So I realized that that's one of them. But I prefer to be called Dada or Daddy. Something babyish.
Yes, yeah.
I prefer that.
No, I know. Same thing with me. And Max started it first. He's
He's a cool dude.
kid.
Yeah, cool dude.
And then Tommy now is the dad too.
I hate it.
So texting your kids, right? I don't like texting very much. Like I
No,
do
I
it a
know.
lot.
I know.
But it's like
Well, not to me, but yeah.
I do it for business or like to find out information. I'm bad with small talk texting
Sure,
or like
I get it.
how's it going or how you doing or like Daniel's good at it. You should be good at it because you come off less D head. Like I realize I come off like a D head a lot of times unintentionally because
Accidental
D-head.
D-head, yeah.
because my go-to won't be to ask someone how they're doing.
It's all business, no emotion.
Well, like I'll give you
No
for
niceties.
instance, like we just had the B-boys on from Blanchard, right?
Yeah.
And
We had an awkward ending of the conversation. I don't know if you saw that.
What happened? What happened? I missed it.
Do you want to talk about that first?
No.
Did you hug them too?
Dude, you were so awkward because when I was talking to them, and it was so easy for me, I
know.
go, "Hey guys, do either of you drink energy drinks?" And they're like, no. And then the one guy goes, I'm a monster guy. And he goes like, why do you ask? And I go, honestly, just looking for a little bit of small talk here because I realize that when we do start talking, it's always easier if we're already talking. You know, it's like, let's get in there and just start talking it up because then when we get on the air, it'll be better because we'll have like a rapport and we'll know what's happening.
Once the strong man starts pulling the semi-truck, it's easier once it gets going.
Get a little momentum. So what happened?
Nothing. We were saying bye, and then we're doing the niceties, and then I kept going.
Thank you very much. They're like, thank you. And
Why
you're like,
do you
"Thank
do that?
Thank you. Thank you.
The
Thank
transaction
you.
has
Thank
ended, and you
Thank
continue
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. No, thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you. No, thank you.
I don't know.
You were doing it. Melissa couldn't leave. She felt held captive.
I know. I sit there and talk to her.
You're a creep, man.
Because I feel like
You're a creep, man.
I feel like I feel like I'd disappoint them if it's short.
That is so much ego when you're like,
She was actually here longer than she was supposed to.
I gotta
be.
give them the full Tom Vine. Man, I'm gonna disappoint her if I don't stand here and give her the full dose.
I think she was more disappointed when she found out how much she was supposed to be getting paid.
I know.
Yeah.
And then so I was just talking to her, and then the problem is I don't know when to stop.
You don't know how to close a conversation.
I don't know how to close.
Well, why don't you stop talking when the person starts walking out of the door? How about that as a closer?
And don't tell them you're going to walk out with them. And
Yeah,
the
don't
Kenny
ever
thing
say
again.
that. Don't ever say that. Look, okay, for what happened, and I got to explain this for the listeners because it's different times that we're recording. We had a guest come in here. She was on the show. Then as she was leaving, me and you and Sam all walked to the lobby. We all talked. Me and Sam said, hey, thank you so much for being here.
Yep.
Good, really good meeting you. I gave her a hug. I said, if there's anything else I can do for you, let me know. I'll be on email. I just sent you the photos we just took. She's like, thank you so much. You had your out. And we left, and all you had to do is say, hey, yeah, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. And then go walk back to your desk, and she would have left. But instead, you gave her the full presentation of the old Tom Van in the lobby.
Because we came back, they were still here.
Yeah, we came back, and she's like, oh, I'm still here. Like, she was embarrassed. And I'm like, yeah, Tom's holding you captive. I know what's happening.
Well, because I thought that if it was too short of a time, like she came to the show with us.
She's not here to visit with you.
You thought she'd get to her car and start it up and be like, damn. They're so nice. And
I wish I had more time with Tom.
I only got 3 minutes of Tom, and I wish I had more time with Tom.
Goddamn crazy person.
Help me!
I didn't want it to be like, oh, he didn't care, or he.
But you did. You were talking to her for.
He doesn't appreciate me. Just blew me off.
But what would make her think that? You didn't do that.
No, well, because maybe she wanted to, she felt like we needed to talk more. I don't know. There's no answer.
She wanted to go get lunch or dance.
It's insane. It's insane.
It is insane.
Someone hit me over the head.
Yeah. It's just as insane.
Crystal tried.
This is insane.
Would it make you uncomfortable does it make you uncomfortable when I know, okay, sometimes we have guests that are in here and you're chatting them and I'll look at them and I'll be like, hey guys, thanks for being here. And it's my way of telling them to get the hell out.
Right.
Does that make you uncomfortable? Or you're like, this guy's a D-head?
Well, that's what I think. I'm like, they want me to stay.
You're interrupted full time. I'm giving a full time.
This isn't a hangout session. We literally have more things to record. This is our work day.
They want me to stay to the end until they make the motion to leave.
So,
I don't want to be the guy that makes the motion.
Yeah, but they do that, and then you follow them outside.
Hold on. Are you really want to leave, or do you want me to leave and talk you to your car? May I talk you to your car?
Just let him go.
Jeff Howell does this, and I hate that he does this because he does it to me and he does it to other people.
I'll just tell him to get the hell out. I'll be like, you can leave. And he'll be like, okay.
Like, he doesn't know. He doesn't handle silences very well, and he'll just start talking and do this weird thing.
I don't handle silence as well. But I've learned to in the mornings. I know you want to be silent, and I sit in here. I put on music. I sit in here alone in front of my computer. There's so many little chirps I have for you, man. I got chirps for days.
I know.
I got so many chirps for you, and I know you don't appreciate my chirps. I'll give Sam maybe 2 or 3. She still hates them, but she tolerates them at least.
I feel you.
I know she hates them, but at least a little bit of kindness. She's like, yeah, he'll give me 3 chirps.
Give him the 3 chirps.
Yeah, and that's our. We have like a
chirp allowance.
Yeah, it's a chirp allowance. We have like a designated. It's a transaction that Sam and I have.
Yeah.
I give her 3 chirps. She gives me 3. I care, but I don't care if she doesn't. But at least she has the humility to look me in the eyes and act like I'm a goddamn human being.
Yeah, Crystal tells me all the time. She's like, she tries to unteach what Tommy has in him, which is what I have in me. And she's like trying
Oh,
to.
that's a uphill battle.
Awkwardness.
Well,
yeah.
and I keep saying, I'm like, he's like me. He like he got whatever I
Leave
got.
him alone. He's like me.
And then she's trying to get it out of him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's trying to change who he is because she's like, he can't be like this. He can't do this to the rest of the people around him.
Right.
Because she thinks I'm a monster. and she tells me, she's like, you're too far gone. And I'm like, well, I was born this way.
Lady Gaga.
This is how Tommy
Little
is.
monster.
Yeah.
But she won't accept that. And she's like, I don't want him to live a life of everybody around you being annoyed by your personality.
Oh, I'm not annoyed by it.
Damn.
Wait a minute, that's too far. I don't say that. I was just talking
Yeah.
about your
Well, it's
interactions
annoying.
with people leaving.
Yeah, well, that's annoying.
Well, it's annoying to them. It ain't annoying to me. You can do it as much as you want.
I'd rather not be this bumbling or do the same mistake over and over. Just organize your computer. Do it.
It doesn't bother me. Like, it bothers her.
How can it not bother you?
Go
It
to
bothers me.
It doesn't bother me. It's
Go
not
to a
me.
behavioral therapist and unlearn it.
I don't think you can. It's
I
like
don't know.
Try.
that's like praying the gay away.
Yeah, you can't pray the gay away.
Yeah. That's what
tried.
they used to do.
I have tried.
It's the same. It's the
Yeah.
same. Like the way I am is just the way a gay person is.
You know, I've talked to people that believe in the pray the gay away thing, and they're
my
like, and
God.
I asked them, I blown their minds. I was like, does that work if you're not gay? Can you just pray other people's gay away?
Can I pray for someone to be gay?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, can I
absolutely. It
pray
works
to
both
be?
ways.
Yeah.
Works both ways. Yeah, I've been praying for
on.
Tom to be gay for years.
You know, that's interesting. Can I eventually become gay? Follow me
I think
here.
you're halfway there.
Yeah.
No. Like
You wouldn't
because
leave the B-boys
Yeah.
alone.
I'm not sexually attracted to men
Not yet.
at all. But can I force myself to? Or like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like eating vegetables. 100%.
Once you start doing it,
Yeah,
you're like,
once you start doing it,
"Ain't
and
that
then you
bad."
see how good your body looks, you're like, I've been gay. Look how my clothing looks good. My house is great. I have a high income, clean.
It feels hard to do, but maybe it is like you don't like radishes, and then you eat enough of them.
Yeah, and you're like, you know what?
You know how many people are married to people they're not attracted to?
Yeah. Do you know how many people think that they're
Yeah,
like?
but I'm not talking about married, but I'm saying like be actually attracted.
You know
like
what's
I can
weird?
pretend to be gay, no problem.
We're making a bunch of silly jokes
But,
here, but you know what's interesting is that I have known more than two couples where, and I'm sure other people are in the same boat, where I know that the people in the relationship were faking being hetero.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had been repressed, unfortunately, the way that the world is engineered, and they only now are living their true, authentic version of who they have always been.
Yeah.
I know
Oh, yeah.
two full couples that both people were not hetero. It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
that For All Mankind, that space show I
Oh,
watched.
God, it's the new
It
Yellowstone.
really is. What happened to Yellowstone?
It's
I
coming back. It's
Okay.
coming
Oh,
back.
Thank God.
Crystal
the
told-
Duttons are back, baby.
Crystal told me while we were building our wall piece.
The Duttons are back, baby. We got to hurry up and get our wood project done so we can Dutton it up.
God damn it.
You guys, you should watch.
It's good. It's a good show.
Why am I the one that shops at Walmart?
Kevin Costner.
You're getting that wheezy laugh more and more.
It's because we're goofy today. All right. You want to do some voicemails? We haven't done
Yep.
any. We have yet to fire any of these. And, man, we got a lot of voicemail messages, people.
Oh, you want to hear the awkward?
Yeah.
ending
Oh,
with
yeah. Okay.
the B-boys?
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, we were walking out, and I followed him out like
Why?
you said not to do, because I felt like
Let
Me
me
and
talk
Dan
to-
sat in
yeah.
our chairs. We're like, hey, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, they
Good to
got
see
up
you.
to leave. And
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll be like, hey, I'm saving the file. I'm not going to get up. And it's my way of saying, hey, I'm not getting up for
Because
you.
we're working.
Yeah, it's a job.
you know maybe it's my old school radio training. Follow me.
Training. He's got a radio training.
Old Tom Van's old school radio training. So you want to be in radio.
When I started, the intern would walk the guests in and
And
out.
out. You had to walk 'em to the
Yeah,
elevator.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it stuck with me to walk the guest all the way out the door.
Let me walk her to the elevator and I'll take a pee-pee, go
No.
downstairs to smoke.
Anyway, so I was telling the B-boys, I was like, oh yeah, they always have like different like country acts or obscure artists perform at the insurance convention.
And they're like who? And you're like, oh.
no. They said like who? And then I said like I don't know, Lady Antebellum. And then
Lady A.
And then I remembered I was like, oh, you can't say
Yeah,
that.
I said that. It's Lady A.
Yeah. But so then I thought to myself, I bet they're gonna be laughing in the car.
Dumb old man. Yeah.
Dumb old man said Oriental. Or something.
Well, I'm sure there
something
are
racist
some
there.
people that say, I'm never calling him Lady A.
That's
I'm
what
sure those people exist.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's what they thought. They thought I thought.
Oh, God.
Which it was just me being dumb, and not knowing the reference to use, and then picking that one. Which
All
is
right.
the
And you're
most
like,
awkward one.
You're like Lady Antebellum. All right, see you later, Washington Redskins. You drive away.
It's just accident.
It's
It's accidental racist.
Oh my God,
Man,
that's a song.
I know.
That's a song
can't.
by Brad Paisley and LL Cool J.
Yeah.
The Accidental Racist. Look it up. It's the worst song ever written. It's absolutely horrifying.
Oh, play it.
It's the most cringe song. No,
They tried to bury
No,
it.
I vowed to never play it again on the show. That's how cringe it is. I have a voicemail though that can help. Do you remember one of your better ideas? One that I'm actually on board with is BDM Infinity.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
What's up, T&D? Shirt and Randy here. Before I get to the voicemail, just want to give a congratulations to Miss Baho, Shark Week Champion 2022. Welcome to the club. Coming for you next year at the Tournament of Champions.
Tournament
so
of
watch
Champions
out.
coming up.
But I'm thinking, all this back and forth on the BDM Beach Party, Camel Girl, should we, shouldn't we? What if Camel Girl's right? It's just the environment is wrong. I propose that next year at the BDM Infinity Gala Masquerade Ball, we've got Camel Girl in a gown. I think it classes it up a little bit.
I agree.
I think it's evolved like you guys have been. We're all bird beacon, having the deviled eggs, the whole nine. And you got your Camel Girl forever. All right, guys, let me know what you think.
I think you got a boner at the end. I can hear it.
Camel Girl forever.
I think that having a classy event, I think that's the only thing we have yet to do as a radio and podcast duo. We have yet to do the dress-up event for our listeners where everybody, dressed to impress, where you got the tuxedo or you.
We did talk about right at the beginning of 2020 doing a fake prom type thing.
Yeah.
I think we should do a dress-up event.
The thing,
I'm down.
Can the BDMs do it?
Yeah.
They can do it.
Some big tuxedos, baby.
Can they do it? Like I'm afraid.
I think they can. I believe in them.
Can
I drank too much caffeine. I'm about to puke.
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
But will they behave themselves?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean by behave yourself?
Well, I mean, at a classy event.
She said a clan event. We gotta go.
Dude.
What is happening
Well,
today?
yeah, did you take some drugs or something?
What happened to you?
No, I'm saying a classy event.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be at a classy place.
Yeah.
And then if it's at a classy place, I'm sure they're going to be not, appreciate getting too drunk, fall through the table. Like what
Wrestling
could happen?
match starts going on.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, you usually don't get obliterated, and your cummerbund flings off.
Cumberbum.
It's a cummerbund, not a
That's what it's-
cumberbum. It's a bun, not a bum.
That's what I said.
Do people still wear? I thought we were a vest society now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wears that anymore.
I think that's an old school. That's a 90s. In the 90s, men wore cummerbunds. We transitioned in the 2000s to the fake vest, which is a vest that literally just looks like a
attaches
vest.
to your shirt.
And then you just pull elastic behind you and buckle. It's not a real vest, unless you buy a real tuxedo. In a real tuxedo, you have a real vest, a real bow tie, a jacket. You don't have the... When we were renting tuxes, everything, I had the little on the sides of them. My pants looked like a square.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Because there was a while, and it was kind of in the mid 2000s, that every wedding I go to or whatever,
On the beach.
so I acquired a vest somewhere, but I
You
didn't.
were a vest man for a little while. When you were going
But I
through
didn't have
your
a jacket.
You were going through your Chandler Bing phase. You wore a
Oh
lot
my
of...
God.
He went through a
I was
Chandler...
on pain
He
pills.
went through a Chandler Bing phase. He was on pain pills. He wore vests all the time. He had a pet monkey. He had a pet duck.
but I didn't have a jacket, so I just go to the fancy event with a vest.
Oh, yeah.
And a
clown.
tie.
What do you think you are, a programmer?
But everybody would eventually...
Silicon Valley Tom?
My rationale was eventually you take off the jacket because it's hot, and then you'd go with the vest anyway.
I went through a phase too where I was a vest man, and I'm embarrassed of it.
But you'd have a jacket, though.
No
jacket, just you show up with vest.
Vest, tie, jeans, like Doc Martens. I thought, I don't know what I look back at the photos. They look good because it was the style then, but the style is so trendy that it ages the photo, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to have worn more classic clothing.
Jeans and a vest is...
Oh, Chandler Bing. I look like an idiot.
Straight Bing.
Like, who did I think what did I think I work for? A startup? What do I think? I'm a programmer for Google? I'm wearing a vest. I got a tie on. Who do I think I am?
But from 98.
Yeah, from 98. Like Microsoft 10.
All right.
You want one more?
Let's do one more.
All right, one more. Here we go.
Hey guys, Hilton Head BDM here, and was watching the new trailer for Andor, the Disney Plus new Star Wars.
It's indoor, right?
I'm not familiar.
I don't think it's and/or, which is actually kind of funny, like either or and/or.
Edition, and I was just contemplating how you guys, are always raging against these things, call them nerd things, and I'm, I'm
it's
far from a
Andor.
nerd.
It is Andor.
But I mean, I love this stuff. Like it's entertainment at its highest point. I feel like, as far as vision for for movies or whatever category you want to put it under.
I mean, for you it is.
Yeah. Well, again, it's all subjective.
Exactly.
And like movies that culminate over a 10-year period into one other movie, overarching themes. I mean, it's just great. And I feel like because you guys hate it, like. Look at Tom. He started watching it, and he respects it now, or appreciates
he never
it.
said. Hold on a second.
And I think if you could come at it from that angle, perhaps you change your mind, man, and you come to enjoy some great entertainment. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
First of all, I'd like to state that I am glad you like it. I'm never happy that people like if you're enjoying something, I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that away from you.
Daniel's just S-ing on it,
right?
Because they S on everything.
Yeah,
it's funnier
it's
that way.
my opinion.
Yeah.
But you never said that you respect the Marvel franchises. You said that you enjoy it because your sons enjoy it.
Yes, and
that's different.
Now, I do like the fact that it is entertaining, and they spend a lot of money making it entertaining.
And it's pretty.
They have good actors and actresses, and they,
I knew this question would come
up. A lot of time
up.
and effort. So that is easier to watch than a hunk of junk.
Correct.
With my son. So
I knew this question would come up, and I've really been deep diving because I've had a plethora of emails from people that are angry that I crap on the Marvel movies. And I really did some soul searching and really tried to answer one gentleman. He was like, why don't you like it? And I really did soul searching, and I think I came up with why. And I think I came up with an answer that may work for you guys. I have a problem with big stars being the character. So, for instance, if you got a Robert Downey Jr., he's a perfect example. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. To me, having that big star detracts from the character originally that I grew up with, that I enjoyed in the comic, that was Iron Man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't like it being connected to a big Hollywood
that already
star.
has a big name.
I would prefer it be somebody that just a rando that looks like the guy in the comic book that does all the thing. Now, that's impossible because the reason they chose Robert Downey Jr. or anybody that's in these movies is because they're good actors, right?
Yeah.
So I'm never going to get what I want, but I really did dive into why don't I like it. And I don't like the fact that you have these big name stars, Ryan Reynolds, Robert Downey Jr., what's his name? The guy, Wolverine, who played Wolverine.
Oh, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. Like, they're all megastars connected to mega comic book characters. For me, if you wanted to get me, it would have probably needed to be a nobody, and that's just not going to happen. But I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, listen, do what you want. Like, everybody likes to occupy their time before they die with something. So, who cares what it is? But it's all the same, by the way.
And I didn't hate all of it. I really enjoyed Mandalorian very much. I enjoyed the hell out of that. That's a good-ass show.
and like how big the story has gotten is impressive. It's like with all these different movies and how many hours of entertainment now, or
Oh my
just
God.
if you just look at the time spent to make it, it's impressive. You're like, how many billions went into making all this stuff?
Right.
Man hours. Like, is this how many tens of thousands of man hours went into this entire Star Wars
This production,
thing.
sure.
Insane. So anybody can appreciate that, but you can also make fun of it, and there's a little, and this is gonna get people even more
Nope.
mad. If you don't have kids and you like it as just an adult, that's a little odd to me too. But that's to me.
Right.
So who cares what I think?
Right.
But I don't think I'd be into it or start watching.
Oh, I know you wouldn't.
Marvel or Star Wars without kids.
You did it. I got to see it. Like, you lived without kids with you and Crystal, and you would occasionally land on a Marvel movie, and you guys would watch it, and you'd say, it's good, but for the most part, it's not like you were firing them up night after night.
But who wants to live like me? Nobody.
Nobody.
Like, it's no fun. Only likes numbers. Or
Did you guys watch Obi-Wan?
That's stupid.
You guys did Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, we saw Obi-Wan, Mandalorian,
And you did Boba Fett.
And then all the Star Wars except for the 70s ones, and like a couple
Which is nuts.
New ones. The 70s ones are
They're
too
slow.
slow.
The pacing is slow.
For
Even
my
Andrea and I
sons.
put on the first Star Wars because I'd never seen it, and I enjoyed it. I liked it, but the pacing, I could see where kids would be like,
Even X-Men from 2000 was a little bit
oh,
slow.
but that got that Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah. Oh, Tommy
Hey, now.
like that.
Yeah, I figured. But you know what? Call me over.
Tommy's
with
like, is
you.
she blue boobies? I'm like, yeah.
You goddamn right, she's blue boobies.
Anyway,
Hand me a Diet Coke.
locker room talk. All right, bye-bye.